So hello and welcome to the 2020 Spiel's online holiday party.
Yay!
Yay!
You.
It's great to see everybody. The first thing to note to the listeners, since we are podcasting this as well as not really kind of live to taping this, not really live streaming it, but the audio and everything that you're hearing is going on as part of the live stream that we're recording here. But all of us participating in the party can actually see each other for the first time after years and years and years of doing this where we could just hear each other. It's kind of fun to see everybody's bright and shining faces here as we're making the craziness that is this party. Welcome, everyone.
Spiel is recorded in front of a dead audience.
So let's get to some introductions right away. Ezra, Denny, say hi.
Hello, internet friends. This is I've missed one of these damn holiday parties. That was the best Christmas ever. If you're, my job in this holiday party every year is after about hour 2, I start asking people why they're still listening. So prepare yourself, because this is like the death march with Christmas music. It will go on. We're probably still doing last year's at this point.
Yeah. We've just brought you back in. I forgot to tell you that, Ezra. And where are you located, Ezra? Just to give people a sense.
I'm here in lovely Alameda, California.
Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you as always. Let's see. Let's move on to. I've got to get back to gallery mode here. Let's go with my co-host, partner in crime here on the Spiel, Doug Richardson. Say hi.
Hi. Hi from the far left coast of the United States. And welcome to the Spiel holiday party.
Let's move. I'm going just in order across my screen here. Jeff and Debbie. Jeff Ridpath, Debbie Ohi in Toronto.
Hi from Canada.
Hello.
Yay.
Merry Christmas.
We are prepared.
Match my white beard.
And I have my tube of gloom
Play.
and my lips. So we're ready.
You see, this is what happens when you have functioning healthcare.
They're a lot happier, you can tell. So you're the band, clearly. You're the band in the party here. Lucio Rodriguez.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Thanks for joining us, Lucio. Where are you?
I'm in beautiful Southern California where it's a blustery 68 degrees right now.
The suffering.
Let's move to Jeremy Piets.
Who is this guy? Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy. I'm a long-time listener. And I'm in Midway Point, Tasmania, Australia.
So it's actually, you're in the future to us. It's Sunday morning.
I am in the future. Correct.
It's also summer there.
That's right. Yeah, it is.
Well, it's trying to be summer, Israel, yes.
It's
So
also,
Jeremy, you already heard the episode. Is it going to be any good?
No spoilers. Sorry.
it's also apparently summer still in Florida and LA. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Stephen Buonocore, I hear that voice. Let's bring Stephen in.
Hello from the retired Florida person here. How are you guys doing? Good to see everybody.
Welcome, Stephen. It's been a while. I think it's been a couple years since you've been able to join us on the party, I think, hasn't it?
You know why? Because I was working. Not working anymore. Now I can do this all the time.
Perfect.
It's quite early to be drinking, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Yeah,
Thanks for inviting me, Steve. Appreciate
It's Florida somewhere, I think, is their statement.
Very late in the year.
Yeah, it's late in the year, so it's fine.
Buonocore, are you the mayor of Margaritaville yet?
Might be the governor of fine wines these days. I took up wine because I needed a hobby that was going to be very expensive, during COVID. So I've been finding really great wines now, and I'm having a good time with that.
Wine, just another thing.
Even Buonocore's prison wine.
Just another thing that Florida does well. Wine.
Oh, well, none of them are from locally. That's
Okay.
They're all from your area. Most of them are from Napa.
Nice. Let's see. Mark Smalley in Indianapolis here, right?
Yeah, still in Indianapolis, and because my wife is a saint, I'm in a mercifully quiet house right now.
Ooh.
So yeah, she took the kids out so that we didn't have to deal with the constant questions of, can I have the orange one? Sure, buddy, you can have the orange one. Okay, can I have the orange one? Yes, you can have the orange one. Can I have the orange one? Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you. Get out of here.
Mark, can I have the orange one?
Yes, 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 you can have the orange
I
one.
wanted the orange one.
Yeah. Let's see, James Engelhardt, newcomer to the party, as well as Jeremy here. Welcome, James.
Thanks. It's good to be here. It's 50, sunny, so I don't think it's not quite Florida, it's not quite LA, but it's also not quite
Canada.
Yeah, it's not quite Canada. It's not quite yeah. So and when it's nice because I lived in Alaska for several years, and so it's probably 20 below and about 3 feet of snow. So it's nice to be here. Yeah, it's nice to be here at this particular party. So thanks for inviting me, Stephen.
Hey, you're welcome. James has become part of the Spiel family here in the background. James has been helping with a lot of the foundation work, doing research and help with grant writing for the foundation and research, just general research. And yay, James.
Thanks.
Katherine, I see you waving, so let's go to Katherine.
Greetings from Norway.
Yay, Katherine.
It's actually very mild here right now, about 48 Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
My garden is very confused. It keeps thinking it's spring again, so I have shoots coming out of the grass. Yeah, weird weather this year. But yeah, Norway, 9 in the evening, so it's completely dark outside. I'm ready for some fun.
Yay.
Are we going to get a Gare cameo?
Possibly later on. He's out and about right now.
What's it like to be able to be out and about?
Remind us.
Right? Our region is probably one of the best ones in Norway right now. In general, it's been tough some places, but our local government has really handled the situation really well. We've had like mini lockdowns, and we had a major lockdown in March, but things are relatively calm and there's very little spread right now. So we're good.
Yay. Let's see, Mark Wilder. We haven't talked to Mark yet.
Hi, I'm Mark Wilder. I'm from Evanston, Illinois, and I am here to chew bubblegum and make dumb jokes, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Right.
Well, you're going to have competition from one Francie Broadie sitting right across the table from me here. You can, I'm waving at you from Francie.
She doesn't make dumb jokes. She makes bad jokes.
Yes.
That's true.
It might
Okay.
be dumb too. I don't know.
Welcome, Francie.
Hello.
Also, I don't like seeing my picture in speaker view. Like life size in front of me.
Oh yeah, that's right there.
You're a very handsome man. Don't worry.
I don't know.
You got a Bond villain look going, Mark.
Yeah. And he was stroking the cat earlier.
Yeah.
The rest of us are
They're
enjoying
on to me.
it.
Yeah. We like seeing your
Even if
face.
you're
We haven't
not
seen it for so
enjoying
long.
We're enjoying
it. Let's see. I believe Christoph Tersago. We haven't talked
Yeah.
about stuff yet.
Woo! Calling to you straight from my attic, which is located in lovely Belgium. And indeed, it's going to be a fun call. Feels a bit like being at work, like being stuck in a Zoom call where you do not know whether you need to be here. And everybody's a bit confused, but it's jolly good fun. So I think I'm going to stick around for a while. And for those of you listening, some clickbait in here. Wait what happens at the 2-hour mark.
Uh-oh.
That's when the introductions are done.
So let's get started here. I don't think I've skipped anybody. I'm looking through my screen. Gubbins, of course, Gubbins. Good Lord.
I'm here and Francie's here and we're ready to go.
Yeah, you didn't really go to Francie.
Yeah,
I think I just did. I pitched it to her about
sort of.
I was trying to save us both.
Steven, you can see him if I rotate my
Look at that.
Don't ruin the illusion, Francie.
Yes.
So welcome everybody. I hope we're going to have a good time over the next few moments. Ezra, cue the long joke here. So we always begin traditionally with, since it is a holiday party, if anybody's having a festive beverage or a festive snack, it's not required, but since it is a party, I'll start. I think Buonocore has done this too. Did you do the Costco beer advent calendar this year?
I did pick up the Costco beer advent calendar, but I also picked up the Costco wine advent calendar. So, and
it's important to have a chaser.
And I really, actually, the funny thing is, I really, at this point, I'm basically ready to throw out the wines from the wine calendar. They're just, most of them are really, really bad. So, but the beers are always pretty good. So, Stephen, if you've got one, I'd love to. I down there and to start drinking them. It's going to be, I don't know, at some point during the holidays or after the holidays.
I'm behind, but I did open the number 19, since it's December 19th when we're recording this, and this is a Baron Weiss. So it's a bear. It's a wheat beer made from bears. No,
they had one of theirs last year, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
that's cool.
I'm pretty sure, but it's really quite good. I tend to like the wheat beers, and it is a little early, but it's a party. So cheers to everyone.
And you have a few to catch up on. So
little beer, little wine, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll go to Buonocore next. What do you have?
I have a particularly bad French wine right here, white wine. I figured it actually is one of the ones from the Advent calendar, the wine Advent calendar from Costco. And I think this is the last, and it was like in my refrigerator from like 2 days ago. And I'm like, let me just grab it quickly, almost for the joke of, that I made before, that it's kind of early to be drinking, but who am I fooling? Hey, I'm retired. It's Saturday. I can drink. But it's a French white wine. It's actually not too bad, dry. So it makes it a little drinkable. And as I mentioned, getting into wines a little bit more, but still love the craft beers as well.
It's a good quality in a wine for it to be drinkable.
I want to say on the label, particularly bad French wine.
Yes.
Anyone else have a festive snack or beverage?
So, Stephen, you were explaining it's the 19th, so you're drinking the 19th beer. I was just drinking them all at once and think it's just to keep count of where you are. We've hit Christmas a couple of times already this year, so...
The Sierra Nevada Brewery is just up the road in North Carolina. They've got their celebration ale, so I've got that. And this is a mug that a friend of mine sent to me back from Germany. So this is the Engelhardt mug for the holidays for me.
I heard that the celebration ale this year is particularly hard to come by for some reason. So if those people who are into craft beers and want a really great holiday beer, Sierra Nevada has been doing this for 25 years. They make a different holiday celebration ale every year. So they're really great.
It is a very tasty one. And apparently that news hasn't gotten to upstate South Carolina. So it is plentiful.
Oh, good.
I'm quite happy for it too. So. Although I hear that the Engelhardt beers themselves are pretty awful. So I'm happy to be drinking the Sierra Nevada instead.
Mark Wilder, I think I saw a hand go up there.
Yes, I'm having one of the finest Coke Zeros. But because this is a special occasion, I did shove a lime down the bottle. So,
very nice.
Mark, as a callback to past holiday parties, like you subscribed to, what was it? There was some mystery meat on a stick thing that you recommended one year.
Yeah, it was a Duke's Shorty's sausage. That is my favorite meat stick.
Are you you could be enjoying one during the call.
Yeah, I made carne asada tacos yesterday, so I was eating the taco meat today.
Yum.
Instead.
Nice. Anyone else? Katherine?
I have what's called julecider. In Norway, we have a tradition every year at Christmas. They make specific soda for Christmas, which is called julebrus, because in Norway, Jul is Christmas. And they've made a cider out of it this year. So it's kind of sweet, kind of raspberry. It's pretty good. And then I have a traditional Christmas cookies. These are Norwegian. They're called krumkaker. You make them, they're really flat and you have to like roll them up into a cone. They're very good. They're lovely.
I love listening to you speak because you have like an American accent and of course you speak perfect Norwegian. It's just it's so interesting to my ear.
Is the little cookie filled with something, or is it just a hollow?
It's hollow. It's completely hollow. I don't know if you can see, but but it's traditional to fill them with multecrème is probably the most common one. Cloudberry cream, so basically whipped cream mixed with cloudberries, I think they're called.
Cloudberries are good.
Yeah, they only grow at certain altitudes, so they're little orange raspberry-like berries. I mean, they have like little clusters like raspberries have, but they grow on a heather, and they're tiny little orange berries. They're very distinctive in flavor.
They sound light and fluffy.
Right? They look a little light and fluffy, but they're not quite.
They're a
Let's
far
be honest.
northern berry.
It's just a fancy Norwegian bugle.
They're very, very thin, and they're like sort of like an ultra thin sugar cookie to some extent. They're very buttery.
It's like an ice cream cone.
And you have to have a special iron to make them, don't you?
You need a special iron to make them.
I tried them one year, and that was the only year we ever had them. They were delightful, but she never made them again.
They're a lot of work. My mother-in-law makes them.
It's a mold, like kind of like a waffle iron. It's but you do it over the stove. It's not like a.
Now you can get a hold of like actual waffle iron type irons, but I have some old traditional ones that are basically I can go grab one. I have one nearby.
Cool.
I'll be back.
All right, Lucio, I saw your hand go up there.
Yeah, I have it's a traditional 1233 coffee from my Keurig, and also goldfish crackers.
Ah, yes.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
Oh
Very,
man!
very fancy.
If you have any children in elementary school, you gotta have these.
I'm slightly in Lucio's camp. I'm enjoying the finest Alameda water in my Meet You Anywhere cup from BGG Con. It still tastes like barbecue. And
the water?
Our water.
Oh yeah, even the water there tastes like meat. It's fantastic. And I was just enjoying some fine Albanese gummy bears that Stephen introduced to me several years ago, and I've become addicted to.
Hoosier, Germany kind of claims gummies, really, but Indiana isn't very far behind.
That's a Midwestern company, right?
Yeah, Albanese, I think, is in Illinois now.
No.
They're in Indiana.
Indiana.
Oh, they're in Indiana.
Yeah,
You're in the factory. You can visit the factory. It's like going to Willy Wonka's place. You can like watch the gummies coming out of the thing and go buy them.
Is there are those gummies you order by the kilo?
Yeah. Yes, I have. Let's just say that I have one thing on my monthly, two things. I have cat food and gummy bears on my, it's been 6 weeks since you ordered them. We're sending it to you automatically.
Do you go with the full flavor assortment, or do you order a particular flavor?
I've thought about, I could probably eat a full thing of just watermelon or the watermelon or the pink lemonade ones. Those are my two favorites, but I go with the mix.
Nice.
And Albanese is the brand.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking they're coming from Albania.
Yeah, they're from Albania. It's the importation is rough, but
yeah.
Albania, Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to speak sacrilege to my homeland, but I think they're better than most of the gummy that I've had in Germany.
I don't think you're wrong about that. They actually the flavors taste like the flavors. That's like they're not just like gummy flavored. They actually taste like the flavors, which is cool.
And they're slightly softer texture. Sometimes the Haribo ones can be a little bit firm.
Welcome to Gummy Bear Talk, our new podcast.
That's what we're doing here. Doug, I think I saw Doug's hand go up with a mug.
There's Katherine with her mold.
Oh,
nice.
Go back to Katherine.
Let's go to
cast iron.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Cast
That's
iron.
gorgeous.
Yeah. I thought I had one waffle iron and one krumkakean, but I only had two waffle irons. But it's the same thing. So it's just the inside that's different. And then
That's a bear trap.
Good for home defense.
You have it on the stove, and then you flip it over and go on the other side, and you open it up and fill it with. This is a traditional Norwegian waffle iron, so it's got like little hearts. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
But it's made in the same way, so that's it.
Nice. That's cool.
It's pretty heavy.
Let's go back to Doug.
Yes, as you remember, Stephen, last year I had the infamous beer Santa's Butt.
Yes.
And
Wow.
I didn't go back there this year, but I decided instead to make all the beer lovers jealous. Listen up, Toronto. We're back.
Oh.
Mother of all storms from Pelican.
Pelican.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can't get it anywhere but basically in Oregon.
Very nice.
And this is a English-style barley wine ale aged in bourbon barrels. This is the 2020. It is 14% alcohol.
Beautiful.
So even if Doug wouldn't normally fall asleep during the holiday party, he will be falling asleep.
Yes.
I'm not the one of the hosts that. Okay.
We have a newcomer, Alex Day. Welcome, Alex.
Alex.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Alex.
Where are you located, Alex, to let the listeners know?
So I'm in Arlington, Texas.
Welcome.
Thanks.
We are doing a little round robin here with festive beverages and snacks. Who else? Let's see. Anyone else?
I can follow on the barley. I've got a porch. Somebody has to be drinking whiskey somewhere.
Yes.
It's a Port Charlotte.
Looks like you bought that at GNC.
I don't know what that is.
What is GNC?
Like a vitamin store, and they have a very particular branding, and everything they sell looks like that.
Nothing goes, with it like corn chips.
Oh, right.
Are those Fritos?
They are.
Nothing like an East Lake single malt and Fritos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fritos are the best.
Well,
Goldfish crackers and Fritos.
The whiskey is purely medicinal. That's why it looks like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a little shocked that the Aussies haven't brought the we're drinking horrible things thunder. Like,
Jeremy, how about you? I know it's early in the morning.
It is. It's it's early Sunday morning. So on Sundays, our family has a tradition where we have eggs and bacon. So with hot chocolate. So I'll be having hot chocolate a little later on. But I do have a pear cider here. Oh.
Ooh.
It's invisible.
Invisible
It's a special invisible brand of pear cider.
You have to put it in front of your face. There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
So just a bit, yeah. So that's my beverage of choice in the hot summer months.
Excellent choice. I'm getting ready to make a batch of pear cider here. I've got all the ingredients to brew a batch of pear cider this winter. Well, welcome, Suzie. I see a newcomer here down in the corner.
Hello.
Here. Suzie Day. Also, tell us where you're located.
Arlington, Texas.
Might be in the same house as.
Might be in the same house.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, you should really check that, just in case you need to call anybody.
Well, let's see. Last call for beverages and snacks. I don't mean to leave anybody out. I'm looking around. Mark, Christoph, anyone else? Forever hold your peace. We'll move on. Ooh, there's what do we got from Belgium there?
Belgium. I got a Cuvée Clarisse, which is a beer from a local brewery. And for those ever planning on visiting us, it has a very interesting story because it's an old distillery from the late 19th century, which survived the Second World War because they were making alcohol for the Germans while they were here. What the Germans didn't know, what they just last few years found out, was that beneath the ground, there was a whole other distillery where they were making wine, whiskey, and gin for the local people. It was only recently discovered, so nobody knew about it. It was when they were revamping the whole thing that they found out. So interesting story, interesting brewery as well, and very good beer.
Very cool.
It reminds me, what's that movie? There's a movie, Secret of Santa Vittoria, about a Italian village that tried to keep their wine hidden from the fascists and managed to, with a bucket brigade at night, get all of their wine out and preserve it for the locals. It's a beautiful movie starring Anthony Quinn. I believe it's late 50s.
Wow.
Highly recommend it.
Wow.
Definitely want to see
I
that.
feel there's a game in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's your
Secret wine game.
I like it. I like that for sure.
Keep your wine from the fascists. Great.
Debbie
game.
has her holiday party snacks and drinks cover art ready to go.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Nice.
Nice. Live arting. I like it.
I'm liking Mark and Steven's looks.
I'm very, very handsome.
I'm just waiting for Debbie to bust out the caricatures.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe I'm already a character.
Debbie, Miles.
Oh,
Put it in the picture too.
Oh, he is adorable.
That's a real Maine Coon.
That is a beautiful animal.
For the listeners, we're looking at Miles. What's Miles's full name there?
Miles is Miles Davis Jr. His brother is also one of my cats. He is Stephen Iserman Jr. And I have been temporarily fostering them for 14 years now.
Oh.
Very nice.
And what instruments do they play?
Say that again.
What instruments do they play? I saw the hand. They're, paws moving.
Oh yeah, they play the theremin, and the other one plays the bassoon.
Wow, those improv classes are really paying off for you.
Yes, the theremin bassoon concertos are their favorites.
I have a theremin. I haven't touched it in years.
But
Jug, I have Rachel got me a theremin a couple of years ago, and I also have it's on the I have a long tradition of asking for something for Christmas and then never touching it again. So it's on the shelf next to the drone.
Ezra, I think you missed the joke.
Yeah, he missed the joke.
Theremins, you don't touch.
You don't touch
so
the theremin.
Haven't touched them in years.
He's just proved that he's never touched his theremin.
He doesn't know how to use the theremin.
I don't know why it doesn't make any sound. I keep blowing in it and nothing happens. What the hell's going on?
That was great.
All right. So last call. Anybody else with snacks or beverages before we move on here? I think we're good to go. So I'm going to divide up. We've done this in the past with little groups, and I'm going to divide the room into two teams here. And so for all the mini games, there's going to be sort of a team A, team B. You can name your teams however you want, or it can be team Q and team P. I don't care. But for the purposes of the game, wow, my voice just broke there. Welcome
to adulthood.
Welcome to the Spiel.
Wow.
He's 50 now. It's time for his voice to break.
It's about time, I'm a little late to the party, but it's okay.
Explains your height, though.
Wow.
Man, ouch. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play a game.
The tallest guy in the room.
Yeah. We might be able to post up on each other on the basketball court.
Hey, for a Jew, I'm very tall.
And athletic.
So we're going to play a game called This or That. And I think I'm just going to look at my screen. And I obviously am going to be leading, so I won't be really participating. But we're going to have, let's see, let's go top to bottom. So Gubbins, Jeff and Debbie, Jeremy, Christoph, Doug, Lucio, and Francie. That's one team.
Team Theremin.
So that's Team Theremin. And so for the listeners at home, so on the other team, and you guys can decide on a team name, we've got Mark Smalley, Mark Wilder, James Engelhardt, Katherine Rosalind, Suzie Day, Alex Day, Ezra Denny, and Stephen Buonocore.
Team Vaccine.
Team Vaccine. Team Vaccine.
I like it.
I like it.
We got the cure for what ails you?
We are what ails you. There needs to be a vaccine for us.
Now I want them to win.
Yeah, you win. Move on. All right. So the way this game is going to work is this game is called This or That. So I'm going to we're going to take turns. One team will be on, and so the other team, the team that's on can kibitz, and we'll hear them talk. The other team kind of stay quiet. And we'll ping pong back and forth between the teams. And your challenge is I'm going to give you a name of something, and you have to tell me whether it's the name of a cheese or the name of an English or Irish town.
It could be both.
Yeah.
what if it's both?
We've gone to the length of hopefully not screwing this up, and they are not both.
Cheddar. Yeah.
So let's see. Let's go Team Theremin first here. Puckle Church. Name of a cheese or name of a British or Irish town? Puckle
Sounds like a
Church.
town to me.
Town.
That's a town.
Let's nominate, like we'll alternate through someone being like the chairperson for the thing. So Jeremy, you're the chairperson, so you're in charge of.
All right, Stephen. I think I heard a majority town there. Is
Okay.
my team in agreement there?
Go Rogue.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're going town.
Go nuts.
And you would be right. Puckle
All
Church
right.
is a town.
Yay.
Team Theremin on the board. All right, let's go with Mamble for the other team. Mamble. M-A-M-B-L-E. Mamble.
Sounds like cheese to me.
Sounds cheesy, yeah.
I was gonna say town, but
If it was Mambol, then I would have said cheese, but town.
You think town?
I
Oh no,
agree.
no, the other way around. Sorry, cheese.
I'm
Now I
downloaded.
agree with Steven.
Cheese it is.
Cheese.
Cheese?
All right, I think we're saying
Cheese.
cheese, it sounds like.
All right,
Cheese.
cheese is the consensus here. I'm sorry, it's the name of an English town.
Oh man, Boynocore was right his first version.
Yes. All right, let's go back to Team Theremin here. Let's go with Gubbins.
Ooh, bean.
You spell that?
The ancestral homeland.
Is that like Gubbins?
Like Gubbins?
Oh, Gubbins?
We have Gubbins on the call here, you know.
Gubbins.
I thought that was the language Gubbins spoke.
So that's gubbish.
I thought that was your creed.
I'm going to spell it for you. Gubbeen. Gubbins. So there are two B's in there, just like Gubbins. Gubbins.
The een makes me think it's a cheese.
Me too.
Yeah, it
Let's
sounds
go for the cheese.
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 Is that
Cheese.
I thought
consensus?
Belgian said, let's go for the cheese.
Let's go for
Yeah,
the
that's
cheese.
Team Theremin is correct. It is a cheese.
Oh man.
Yay.
All right,
I
y'all.
hope you notice I didn't answer that one. That's because I found Gubbins.
Yeah. Doug's like, I've got the perfect cheese one. It's Gubbins. Let's see. Let's go with Papelwick. Papelwick.
Could you use it in a
please.
sentence?
Spell that, please.
The word
Language
you
of
are
origin?
guessing is Papelwick.
I mean, you know, he did
Oof, that
two
could be
towns and then he
either.
did that was a cheese. Maybe this is a cheese.
Oh, you're
Way.
gaming the
So
system.
now we're metagaming. Yeah.
No
this is
way.
a-
This is definitely a town.
I think
I
using it
think sounds towny. I like town as well.
Yeah, it's a town.
Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
with town.
Yeah.
Should we wait for
Absolutely.
Buonocore to guess both of them?
Yeah, let me guess both. Town and cheese. No, it's a town. It's a town.
It's definitely a town or a cheese.
Or it could be a tease.
Oh, a tease, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Or
so we're
town.
going town, is that?
Town
I
is the
believe we're trying
town.
out town.
town is the consensus, and you are correct.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
We got one.
We're
Yay.
on the board.
On the board.
We should
Vaccines start slow, but they work in the end.
All right, back to Team Theremin here. Let's go with Timberdoodle. Timberdoodle.
Timberdoodle?
Would you like
Sounds
to
like a Hubba game.
Would you like
Are
to
the-
visit Timberdoodle, or would you like a slice of Timberdoodle?
Are these all euphemisms for various parts of your body?
Yeah, I
They
know.
totally are.
I was about to say. Don't touch your Timberdoodle in public.
With your Popplwick, yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
You
I don't
keep
really
doing
want
that,
to
your
go to
Popplwick's
or
gonna
eat
fall off.
Timberdoodle.
Doesn't sound like a town name to me. Would you call your town
I don't know.
Timberdoodle?
Would you
I
call it
live in
cheese
Timberdoodle.
Timberdoodle?
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
I
don't
really
know that.
like the cheese,
Hard.
yes.
That's hard.
I think
I think cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Consensus?
Yeah.
You are
Cheese, I
correct.
think.
Theremin is knocking it hard here.
Oh.
Man.
We
Nice.
like to set off the salad with some crumbled Timberdoodle.
Let's go with New Moon.
It's a beer.
Yeah.
I know that. That's yeah. Like we've switched entire.
I'm gonna go
It's a
cheese.
Stephanie Meyer novel too.
It's a cheese made from beer.
Oh,
It's a
or the other way, a beer made of cheese.
A beer
It's
made
a
of
town made of cheese.
It's a cheese made of town.
Gosh, I feel like they want us to. What do you guys think?
It
I think it's-
sounds like a cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with cheese. Yeah.
Because it's moon shaped. When you make it, it's new.
I personally think it's a town, but let's go with cheese.
Oh,
So you can be on
hedging
both
your
sides.
bets. Hedging
Yeah.
your bets. I see.
I learned that from Buonocore.
Yeah, well, learn from the best, baby.
I'm
Learn
going
from
for
the
cheese.
best.
I'm going for cheese.
Yeah, I think it's cheese. Go with the team.
Consensus is cheese. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey.
Ew.
It sounds more like a brand and less like a
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce thing. So.
Or it sounds like a sword to me.
But you get to certain XP, then you can, yeah.
Welcome to Cheddarton. Yes.
Nice. Let's go with let's see, back to Theremin. Spenwood.
It's back to the euphemisms again.
Expensive.
Down, I think. There's quite a few woods in that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wood does sound like a town.
Team Theremin, I apologize. My knowledge of cheese stops right around craft singles.
Me too.
Yeah, he has
What
a
about your knowledge of English and Irish geography?
That's a town.
Stops at Goldfish Crackers.
yellow or white cheese.
Man, if there's a cheese called Mornington Crescent, we're in trouble.
I just don't know how to get there, guys.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spenwood. I need an answer. Team Theremin.
Town. What do you
Go-
think?
I would go
go
for
down.
town.
Oh, yeah.
Might be a
Go
village,
town.
but I think it's a town.
Town.
I'm sorry, it's a cheese.
Woo!
Broken the streak.
Can't we get a chance to steal? If they're wrong, then maybe we can guess and see if we can get it right.
Oh no. Let's see. Let's go with here's a good one. Curry mallet.
Curry mallet.
Curry mallet.
That is a Indian food preparation device.
Would you
Okay,
spell
I feel like it could be a trick, like.
So
name.
That's
I don't want to. I know this is supposed to be a guess, but I know a guy from Curry Mallet.
Seriously?
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
it's
All right.
Somerset.
And is he from a cheese?
He is not. He is not a mouse.
Does he like cheese?
I don't. We've never had that conversation.
I know a guy from Curry Mallet should be the name of your autobiography. First of all.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going down. We're going
yes,
down.
we're going
Go
town.
Yeah.
town.
It
Town,
did not occur to me that we would have someone on the call who would know someone from Curry mallet.
I'm
Mike-
sorry. I guess I'll get off the call now.
That's
Oh no,
awesome.
you're a ringer. You got to stay with us now.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Alex is always a ringer.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. You are correct. It is down. No surprise. Let's see. Let's go with Crudwell.
Who would name a cheese with crud?
Yeah.
That's what I call my
Who would name a
ex.
town?
But it's well.
I mean, a
They obviously
yeah.
they're
We've
well.
told that
guys.
crud
This
is
is the
fine.
Brits.
Crudwell.
It's a town, I reckon. It sounds familiar vaguely.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's a petrol-based
Town.
cheese.
Yeah, Crudwell. Yeah, indeed.
I had a layover in Crudwell,
How did it go?
right next to Lower Scumsgrove.
I think Crudwell is very tasty, personally. It's very
I think
good.
we're going with town, right?
Yeah, town, Stephen.
Crudwell and a cracker.
English town. English town.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with. We're running out of things here. I've got just a few left. Here's a good one. Let's go with Millines. Mileens. Millines.
I feel like the S at the end indicates cheese.
Can you spell it again, Steve? M-I-L.
Millines is a town in Belgium.
Millens. Millines.
Yeah, I lean towards cheese.
This is a weird coincidence, but I have a friend who only eats Maline's cheese.
Nice one.
Damn it!
Nice one.
He's near death. It's not going well.
How's his cholesterol level?
Yeah, I would go with cheese. but
Yeah, I like
I'm not
cheese.
Married to it.
Consensus? All right.
Yep.
I think here consensus. That is correct. It is a
Yay!
cheese. All right. Let's go one more
Last call,
round here.
Katherine.
Okay. Go ahead here. Let's see. Let's go with
Wensleydale.
American.
Francie gets credit for this. That was kind of the inspiration for this particular one because we were thinking of cheese names and things. She was like, "Well, Wensleydale, sounds like a name of an English town, but it's cheese, right?" So let's go with
the name of an English town.
Oh, okay. This is Theremin. Is that right? Have I lost track?
Yes,
already?
no, you're right.
Yes.
Theremin. Wet Wang.
Please don't be a cheese.
Thurman
No,
only gets
please
the ones
no.
that sound
Wet
naughty.
Wang and Curry Mallet. I don't, come on here. This is
Wet
Now, Alex knows
Wang
someone from Wet
or
Wang.
Lang?
Our skeleton's wet.
Wow.
Wet Wang.
Wet Wang.
Cheese.
All one word. WETWANG. Wet Wang. I mean, Wet Wong. I mean.
Maybe it's pronounced Whitwin.
Wow.
We're studying.
I've
Yeah.
stunned them into silence. I love it.
Do
You
we
just
live in
confused
Wet
everybody
Wang?
that it's one word. That's the confusion point.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm going with cheese.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
Oh man,
Cheese?
I hope it's not a cheese.
You like
Little
a
light
nice
wet
slice
wang
of good
sauce.
A
wang.
little slice of wet wing.
No.
All right.
You know what would go nice with that glass of wine? A little bit of wet wang.
Wet wang.
Oh man.
You gotta steer it with a wet
All
wing.
right.
I like
Was
to
that-
put a little wet wing on my charcuterie board.
Is that a consensus then?
I don't know.
We
Sounds
hope
like
so.
I think it's as close as we get.
It's a bad word.
I think we want it to be cheese.
What's your? I need an answer. Come on.
Cheese is fine.
Cheese.
It is in fact an English town. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
I think Wet Wang. I think Wet Wang is actually mentioned in a Monty Python skit, like one of those election skits.
Is
I'm
it really?
taking the 330 to wet wang.
Yeah,
Yeah, the cheese shop.
I could be wrong, but it sounded familiar.
All right. Let's.
The last train to Wet Wang?
Yeah.
That's train to Wet Wang.
Boy, they sure missed out on a good name.
It's one of my
Wallace did
favorite
a game.
favorite movies. Yeah,
They had some sketches on cheese shops as well, so you never know.
true.
You'll never forget Martin Wallace's wet wang.
All right.
I'll call him out. He'll
Doesn't
design a
matter
game
how hard
around
you
this.
try.
Wait, I thought that was a Reiner Knizia game.
No,
Wet
Knizia
wang.
was much drier. Good night, everybody.
There you go.
So let's round out this round of this or that with Team Vaccine. Your name is Ticklemore. Ticklemore. Ticklemore.
That
All
sounds
one
so
word.
much like a place I want to guess cheese.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too.
Yeah.
Because if
I
it
think
had
if-
been a place, I think it would have been a double O-R, as in more.
Sounds weird that we're going to tickle more.
Not necessarily.
I think
like
I think
place.
it's a town.
I like place.
Yeah, the direct spelling, just the on the nose spelling of tickle seems to make me think of.
Oh, spell it again, Stephen.
It's Ticklemore. So just like it's tickle and more put together as one word. Ticklemore.
It means you can say we're going to tickle more.
I want to be confidently incorrect and say right now I'm sure it's a cheese.
Wait, I thought you were gonna say you
All
know
right.
someone personally from
Yeah,
Tickle.
yeah.
Well, I don't think it's a place.
I think it's isn't that the sequel to the Tickle Me Elmo doll? The Ticklemore Elmo?
Ticklemore
You know,
Elmo.
strangely, I know someone who isn't from Ticklemore.
Almost everyone I know.
It sounds like we're kind of split here.
Let's take a vote. I
All
vote
right, I say place.
Place?
Cheese.
Of course, says
I'll
place.
say place.
I'm gonna go
Place.
place as well. We have a place consensus.
I'm
I think
excited to
place
be
has been
outvoted.
very, very mildly ahead. So we're going with place.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, it's a cheese.
Oh!
To us.
And it ends a tie.
Is it a tie?
Yeah, it's a tie.
Yes.
Oh, it's a tie.
Ties are acceptable. Tiebreaker is.
Is tiebreaker a cheese or is
The
tiebreaker a
tiebreaker is
city
the-
in England?
But so the tiebreaker is the tiebreaker from the card game Arboretum, which is fantastic. It is each player plants a tree, and in a year, whichever tree is taller, that player wins.
Awesome. It's so good.
That is.
I love that.
So I actually have a tiebreaker here. So we have a second category for this or that that we're going to pull from for the tiebreaker here. We might even do 2 rounds of this because there's some pretty good ones on this one too. So this one, same rules. It's just we're going to change up what the topic is. So this is it a romance, the title of a romance novel, or the name of a menu item? Romance novel or menu item. All right. So we've gone into round 1 as a tie. We'll do a couple of these and see how it turns out.
Moon over my hammy.
I thought it was
Romance
eggs
novel,
over.
right?
Say again.
Oh, I was just making a joke, saying I thought it was eggs over my.
Oh. So all right, we're back up with Team Theremin. So let's go with Cucumber Passion. Name of a romance novel or name of a menu item?
Oh, that's the novel series I'm writing.
It's a solo romance novel.
Choose your own adventure.
Oh man, is there a choose your own adventure romance novel? That needs to be a thing.
No, last year I got Rachel for Christmas Hamlet as a choose your own adventure. This guy did Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet as choose your own adventure books.
Oh wow!
Oh, geez.
Awesome. Cucumber Passion.
Must be a dessert.
Menu item, I think.
That's
Menu item.
Yeah.
Menu
I mean, it could be a dessert, but it's not that specific. It could be anything on the menu.
It's probably.
I think we're going menu.
Menu.
Yeah. No way.
Menu, is that
Sounds like
consensus?
they're going menu item.
Yes. You are in fact correct. It is a sushi roll. Weirdly, so it is a sushi roll with crab, tuna, salmon, and fish roe, and no cucumber.
That is awesome.
No,
That's great.
wow.
All right. So let's go back to Team Vaccine. This is your phrase is the Imam fainted.
It's got to be a
I
novel.
want to be respectful of the beautiful and historical Islamic religion. That's all.
And?
I just
I was waiting. I was waiting for something.
I was too.
So yeah, it's either something that is a romance novel that's very sexy that would make the imam upset, or it's something that has maybe pork in it that makes the imam upset. So could go either way. All I know is
item.
I prefer. I would prefer to hear a romance novel.
That pushes me to a menu item too.
Yeah, I would go menu.
I think.
Okay, I'm happy with menu.
Yeah.
All right, it's a menu.
Nice
You think
cat.
it's a menu item?
James doesn't look.
I respectfully disagree, but we'll see. Let's see how this plays out.
Menu is the choice, and menu is correct.
Oh, well done. I'm glad.
Take that, James.
That's amazing.
That would not be a good idea for a romance.
It's the genius of silence. It's y'all.
So this is a dish in Ottoman cuisine consisting of a whole eggplant stuffed with onion, garlic, and tomatoes, and simmered in olive oil. It is most found in areas that were formerly controlled by the Ottoman Empire, and it was so good that it would make the imams faint.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's. We still have a tie. We haven't broken.
I believe the romance version of that is my mom fainted.
Okay. back to team Theremin. So here is yours.
Maybe less creepy if it's your mom fainted.
I don't know.
Your phrase here for Team Theremin is, "We would be two lovebirds flying wing to wing on high." We would be two lovebirds flying wing to wing on high.
Sounds like a Japanese main course.
Flying buffalo.
Yeah.
Because
Flying
it's too
buffalo wing
obvious.
to wing.
Because the novel thing would be too obvious, and they're trying to trick us.
It's also
That sounds like a self-published somewhere in the depths of Amazon.
It's a very long name for a novel.
That's
Yeah,
my
it's a
point.
WhatsApp.
I'm still waiting for someone to buy it.
anyone else on Team Sarah? I don't know. It sounds like
I like the idea of that
I
being
think it's a
food.
menu thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Might be a Wattpad book, but I think it's a menu item.
Menu item.
Menu? You're correct. You are correct. It is a Chinese dish, sautéed, spicy baby chicken feet pieces with fresh ginger.
Ooh.
It's as delicious as its name.
Yeah.
yeah.
Back to Team Vaccine here. The League for the Suppression of Celery.
I'd just like to point out that we've had 3 menu items in a row here.
That's what I was thinking. Like, are they just all menu items?
Yeah, that would be.
Just keep throwing rock, you guys.
The
Just
League
keep
for the
throwing rock.
Suppression of
You know,
Celery. I mean, that could be
I think this has
innuendo.
to do. I think this goes along with the Cucumber Passion, and it's a romance novel thing.
Or wait, does one of you have
Cucumber
a friend
Passion
who
was the menu.
wrote this novel?
And
That's right.
If only.
I actually have a celery fetish, so
Of course.
Here we go.
Yeah. Mark
novel.
doesn't do OnlyFans. He does only fiber.
He's a stalker.
Yeah, I think I'd go romance novel.
Hawker. Oh my god, who said that?
That was good. That was good. Yeah, I think romance novel. Just playing the
Yeah,
percentages.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah, let's
romance
do it
novel.
for it. Yeah, let's go for it.
You are correct.
Stephen, can I read this one since?
Yes, yeah.
I
Doug
found
found
it.
this one. We had to include this one because Doug found it here.
Okay, it's a romance novel. Kate Pearson heads west from Arkansas in an old jalopy with 2 parakeets, a job offer, and a half-baked plan. Dreamboat celebrity chef Warren Hoffman has offered Kate a job and himself if he will relocate to Oxnard, California. The catch? Kate soon discovers Warren has a big secret and that he's possibly crazy. During her journey, Kate stumbles upon the lair of paranoid militants calling themselves the League for the Suppression of Celery. When they learn her destination is Oxnard, celery capital of the world, they stop at nothing to indoctrinate her into their nefarious cult.
Someone wrote this novel.
Yes.
Wow.
Somebody wrote all those words. Yes.
Someone wrote those words to make the synopsis for that novel.
The synopsis was actually longer than the novel.
I hope it was.
It's $14 on Amazon.
Oxnard is a cheese.
Oxnard is a cheese.
Oxnard is a cheese. That's the game within the game. You just won.
I would like to know how well that sold.
It's got 59 ratings on Amazon. It is
They're all
$14.
they're all Doug.
No, actually, it's 4.3 out of 5 among those ratings. More 4 and 5 stars than anything else.
The writer has a big family.
People who bought this also bought menu items.
If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free.
Oh,
That's
It's
too
also
expensive.
Like the rice point. Right?
it's also the Spiel's first book club book. So hey guys, all right.
Looking forward to the discussion. Yeah.
Tune in next week.
This time next week, everybody read it.
You know, that's one of those books that there needs to be a way for Kindle to pay me to read it. That's the only way.
No, I think I'm going to read it. I think
If you read a book, I will also read it.
We are excited to hear about this book.
Oh my God, it's really becoming your first book club book. I hear
I'm sorry. I don't know what it is.
We
And I
can't
think
wait
with
for
that, I
for the-
retire from the Spiel. It's my contribution finding that book.
Thanks, Doug.
All right,
We're
I
looking
just
forward
paid.
to hearing the book club episode where you guys.
Wait, this is gonna be
analyze
like
the
an
book,
Oprah
Steven.
thing, and we all have a copy under our chairs, don't we?
You do get a copy.
I just
Go
paid
open the
$3.
package
It's
at the front door. It's actually that book.
All right. This is the sudden death round because we're still tied.
This has to end at some.
Theremin, the coincidence of coconut cake.
Hey, it's Alan Chen coming on.
Oh, there's Alan Chen. Welcome to the party, Alan.
Woo!
Hello, Alan.
Hi, Steven. Hi, everyone.
So,
Yeah,
Alan
how's it going?
Chen, tell us where you're calling in and joining the party from.
California Bay Area, Cupertino.
Nice.
Nice.
Welcome to, let's see, you can join Team Theremin because I'm not playing on Team Theremin since you're at the top.
This would be a good time to lose internet, Alan.
Not sure what's happening. Can't hear you.
So the game we're playing is called Is it a romance novel or a menu item? So I'm going to list out a name for you, and your team has to decide whether what I'm telling you is the title of a romance novel or a menu item. And the title or the thing is The Coincidence of Coconut Cake.
Cake or cake?
Cake.
Oh,
I like coconut cake.
That's like a food
Yeah.
themed mystery.
Coconut Cake is a very different novel.
Yeah, I went to high school with
I
coconut.
think it sounds like you're doing the menu items with romance themes and the novels with food themes. I think it's a novel.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Novel,
novel.
novel.
Definitely not a cheese.
Alan, you just have to tell us if you ate this menu item last night. Otherwise, we're good.
This is a family show, Doug. We don't need.
I'll support the group, but I think it's a menu item.
Yeah, I'll support the group.
So novel?
Novel.
Novel.
You are correct. It is a novel written by Amy Reichardt is the author of The Coincidence of Coconut Cake. I'm sorry. Oh, did we name? I don't think Mark Wilder, do you have the author of The League for the Suppression of Celery?
Doug said it, I think. Doug.
Yeah, it was Wendy.
You said it was Kate Pearson.
No, Kate Pearson is the protagonist of the novel.
Wendy Russ is the author.
Thank you.
Russ.
I did
Send
not
your hate mail to.
Yes.
Would you like the ISBN or no?
Describe the cover.
All right, so let's go with we're in the sudden death tie break here. It may just end up in a tie. The Italian Plumber.
I mean, it's too. It's got to be a menu item. It's too.
Yeah, I agree,
feel like
Ezra.
it,
I'm
yeah.
with
It's
you.
like a club sandwich or something, right? Like,
Oh, it's a dessert with lots of prunes in it.
Either way, it's Mario themed.
Yep.
It
I have
could be a
come here
vehicle.
to talk to you about this plumbing issue that you have. Let me take my clothes off, and I can do this with you here right now. See, that's the book. That's how the book goes. I've read the book.
Wow, that
I
was
have
the
a friend-
worst ASMR ever.
That was close.
Anyway,
That's my only goal for this thing is to get Steven to spit out beverage at some point.
That was close. I almost aspirated that beer there.
I think it's a menu item.
absolutely a menu item. It's a
Yeah.
it's a sandwich. I bet.
Yeah.
You are correct. We're going to end in a tie, and I love that it ends in a tie. So we have Doug to thank for this one. This is actually a sandwich item from the Wanna Play Cafe in Utica, New York. And it is in fact a deli sandwich. So it's a sandwich that consists of turkey, ham, salami, banana peppers, and gobs of provolone cheese.
Of course.
Gobs.
Perfect. Go back to the cheese.
I so want to have this sandwich right now. I'm dying. For an
And Doug,
Italian
did you
plumber.
have it?
I
Doug,
want
did you eat
one.
it?
I'm gonna make one right now.
Hey, Steven, how's the deli down there?
Oh, down here in Florida?
Yeah, how's the deli?
Oi, oi. A lot
Oi.
of great Jewish deli down here. Lots.
There are old Jewish people in Florida?
South
That's
Florida.
news to me.
You might,
What?
might be some old Jewish people.
Yeah. Buonocore's like 15 years ahead of me. It's the secret Jewish burial ground.
South Florida welcomes you with open arms. Whenever
Not
you're
a
ready.
chance.
Is it really
Awesome.
secret though?
It's not secret.
Not really. So that ends Act 1 here. We're at the hour mark. So why don't we, if people want to take a break or get a beverage or refill for a second, let's take a 4 or 5 minute break here, and we'll reconvene in just a second.
Are we actually live on YouTube?
We're not live. I'm recording it live to tape, so it's a private stream that if all goes well and everybody's cool with it, I may post later if somebody
Definitely
doesn't.
post, and I will link on the Podfather of Gaming page.
Excellent. So anybody who needs a break, I'm happy. I think I'm well situated here, but anybody who needs a
I'm
break,
in good shape.
I'm going to take a quick break. You can continue or not. Either way.
Okay. Just feels right to give everybody at the hour.
Did I see Darrell was back, or did he?
Oh, I thought I saw Darrell, but then
Yeah.
where is he?
You heard the game and left.
We scared him away.
He heard Mornington Crescent, and he just
Steven, did I miss last year?
yeah.
I thought so.
I couldn't be at actually now I run Saturday evenings, so I'm very happy with this afternoon time. It works out well.
I think that'll probably, in order to accommodate people from Tasmania and Europe, we had to try to find a spot that would be a sweet spot, and this actually works pretty well. So
It's certainly friendlier for our European guests. Where's where's your Swedish intern?
I thought Daniel was going to join. He tried testing joining last night on the call, and it seemed like we were connected, but I don't know what's up. He must have had
Time
internet.
zones.
Maybe.
He thinks he has to be up at 4 a.m. to.
Yeah. John and Beth send their regards. John may come in late and say hello, but for those, Beth's father passed away just a few months ago. And
I've been speaking to her, so
she's,
yeah.
She's gone like, I want to come. I don't want to come. I'm like, there's no pressure. Come if you want to come. Don't come if you don't want to come. It's, we're here for you. And if it would help, come. And if it isn't, we'll hug you later.
Mm-hmm. What time is it for you guys?
It is 4 p.m. here in Indiana.
1:18.
And in California?
1:18. Yep.
1:18. Okay. It's afternoon. You can have alcohol. It's fine.
It's 3:18 in Chicago, because that's how time zones work.
Yeah.
I did a weird deep dive on the history of time zones, and it's fascinating. Because I was like, when were time zones invented? Like, when did we reach the point where we noticed
trains,
time zones?
Trains.
And it was trains in the 1800s, but in America, and actually this happened across the world. But in America, every train company had a slightly different time zone. And so train depots would have like 5 different clocks, and they would have clocks of the various different times. And so there was a day, it was in 1880 something. It was called the afternoon of 2 noons, or the day of 2 noons. And they standardized all the clocks. And so they went to like every train station and like made them all noon. I'm like, that's got to be a Cthulhu scenario. Like,
and then Cupertino synced up all of our
Sounds apropos of nothing.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, apropos of nothing.
No, and I love that there are separate clocks for just like the towns or the trains that are there. It's not like it's Singapore, London, New York. It's like
and like they would base it on where their headquarters was. So like, like if your headquarters was in Chicago, your noon would be based on where Chicago was, because they noticed there was like towns would be like up to 15 minutes off each other depending on like where they were and stuff like that. And,
I know, Alan. I know you, Chen. You travel a lot to China. Is it the time zones work weirdly in China, right? I don't know exactly how.
Not weirdly. Not weirdly. Everything's the same time zone in the entire country.
That's what I mean. I can't wrap my head around how the country can have one time zone. It seems really strange.
We have one time zone. What's the big deal? What's the big deal?
Norway is not quite as big as China.
Certainly not quite as wide as China.
Illinois only has one time zone. Yeah, it's.
No, the weirdos are Newfoundlanders and India with the half hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sasquatch. Yes.
We do trivia with a fellow from Newfoundland, and I always screw up that half hour when we're trying to connect. I'm either a half hour early or a half hour late constantly.
Doug, those Cascade chips look really good.
They're crunchy, and they are a surprise. There's no description at all of what they taste like. It's like, all right, I'll take a gamble because I know the brand. Like, are these going to be good? What are they going to taste like? I don't know.
You can really taste the Sasquatch.
But they all have the same taste. They all have the same taste. It's not like those roulette chips that you have. You guys have those?
No.
Roulette Doritos? They all have the same, they all look the same, but 1 out of 10 is extremely spicy.
Nice.
Well, wait,
Roulette
extremely
Doritos.
spicy for Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means, they have a bit
Doable.
of flavor to them.
Yeah, indeed.
1 out of 10 of them is a regular chip.
Yeah. The other are plain corn chips.
Yeah.
I drove some people crazy in Germany last year because I kept insisting, next year I'm going to bring my own little bottle of green Tabasco sauce so this food could have some spice. It has no spice. I need spice.
It's German food. It's not
German
supposed
food
to be
doesn't come with
spicy.
spice.
It's flavorful. Flavorful is different than spicy.
I need both. Thanks.
All the time. Win in Essen. Essen in Essen.
And then when you realize where the areas where that have the most spicy food are oftentimes hotter climates that can't necessarily keep their meat as fresh, and so they have it more spicy to kill off the flavors of the meat that's not necessarily tasting so great. Historically speaking, not anymore, but historically speaking.
I wrote a paper about that, and they said that's not in fact the case.
Really?
Indeed, it's just that spicy things grow there, because they're more insect life. The way that plants defend themselves is to put up spicy flavors, because other animals are smarter than we are and don't eat just for pain, and so it's just a historical coincidence that those are the things that you can eat. They tend to be spicy around that part. The further north you get, you don't really have to compete that much. So because the argument that, because I've heard that, and they said, but dysentery is dysentery. Like if you put hot sauce on it, you're still gonna get dysentery.
And we have our episode title right there.
Dysentery is dysentery.
Dysentery is dysentery.
But there's no antibacterial effect then.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, for cooking. Right.
Okay.
So yep. So anyway, that's.
I noticed it last
Thank
year.
you.
Yeah.
I made some bet, and I think I undercooked it a bit. I put some spicy sauce on it, but still the bet tasted funky. I was in Wuhan on holiday at that point.
This conversation is actually better than the rest of the show.
Ouch.
Does that include the episodes when it's just Steven and me?
Oh,
Man.
yeah. I mean, I don't actually listen to your podcast.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You have a
No one
podcast?
here does. That's right.
Fun fact, birds, at least some of them, do not experience the problems that the sensation that capsaicin, hot peppers, give human beings. So you can plant hot peppers in your backyard, and birds might come and eat them, and they'll enjoy them.
They do, and that's
They
awesome.
do. Do the birds taste funky then? Are they already spiced if you would eat?
That's it.
If I would give it to my
The birds
chickens,
And then you can eat the bird.
That's where buffalo wings.
That's good.
That's where we get buffalo wings from, right?
Okay, all makes sense now.
All right. I think
Welcome back, Darrell.
Hey, welcome back, Darrell.
Yes, hi. I clicked on Ezra and my PC blue screened and rebooted, and I have no idea why. I'm going to blame Ezra entirely for this.
Typical Ezra causing blue screen.
Yeah, sounds about right. I assume you can hear me adequately, even if this headset was being a bit crackly earlier.
You sound better, actually.
Sans the crickets as well.
Okay, fair enough.
So welcome, Darrell, Ottery, to the party. Tell us where you are here again.
Currently, about 2.5 hours away from total lockdown in Reading, in the UK. Latest announcements with like 6 hours notice was, yes, everything's exploded, stay at home. It's all thoroughly exciting. Christmas is cancelled, away you go.
I'm just glad one country is doing worse than we are. That's
close run thing.
You're really making us feel better about it. That's the special relationship.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I have a question for the group. I finished my last bottle of whiskey the other night, and therefore, in order to join you, I need to open a new one. If I show you the selection of things I've got here, can you give me a decision as to which one to go for?
Yes.
Sure. Absolutely.
I think unless you could think I should do beer instead, because I've got a reasonable selection of those in at the moment.
Whiskey. Definitely go whiskey.
Yeah, we've got the
Just
cold
to warn
there.
you, I'm voting for the silliest name.
So.
Ooh.
Oh, yep. So there's a Glenmorangie there.
Nice.
There's an Ardmore here, which is
nice.
Is that one a particular one? No, that's just a regular one. There's an Auchentoshan in American Oak, which is a lowland whiskey. One I picked up as I came back from Gamma earlier in the year, an Auchentoshan in Blood Oak, which was excellent when I sampled it. And basic Commodore Garden Bushmills. And I've got some Crested 10 as well. There is one more, but I'm not allowed to open it because that was a wedding present that we bought ourselves and is reserved for a special occasion, which is a 35-year-old something or another tucked away for when we really need it, which may be Christmas. We'll see.
How long does it get to your place? Because that's where I'm heading now.
Right?
There is a drinks cupboard. There is a drinks cabinet. You can sort of see just behind me, and there is a specific whiskey cupboard.
I vote Blood Oak. That sounds
right.
Yeah, Blood Oak sounds amazing.
Red Christmas.
There's like there's a
good
Bloody Christmassy.
There's a charming scale between European and has a drinking problem.
No, there's no problem. So as long as it goes down and doesn't come up again, there's no problem at all.
Darrell, we're all also very knowledgeable about cheese. You can bring all your cheese out now too.
Yeah. I was trying to guess if those were cheeses or towns.
We're all desserts.
All our cheese in at the moment. That's coming in the delivery next week. However, the good news for anybody who does want to come and visit us and see the shop is our local independent specialist beer and cheese store has just taken ownership of the property 2 doors down from us. And they are very, very good. They just opened their 7th anniversary a couple of days ago. They've just moved in, refitted in what was I think the longest running internet cafe in the UK, which closed its doors mid-lockdown. And they've taken over, and they're great. They're fantastic neighbours, and there may be, out of camera shot, a small selection of beer from them, and cheese next week. But
when the world calms down, we'll
any
definitely
other
have to take another trip
businesses
to
while
Reading.
you're here?
Sorry, what was that, Ezra?
I said, would you like to plug any other businesses while you're here?
I don't think they do international shipping, unfortunately.
Yeah, businesses we can't access. Damn. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's important to remind people that Darrell and Becky own Eclectic Games, a wonderful game shop in Reading, UK. And when the world starts spinning on its axis normally again, visit them, buy games, go play.
I keep hoping that one year my BGG Secret Santa is going to be English, so I can get all my stuff through Darrell's store and ship it locally.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Happy to help on that one, but yes. Anyway, cheers.
My
Cheers.
The
husband, daughter, and I actually got to visit their shop last year.
You did indeed, and taught me the crew.
Indeed,
I have not had a chance to play it since I brought one back from Essen about a month previous.
No.
Yes. So you guys taught me that, and that's been surprisingly our best-selling game this year.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's a great game to have.
Yeah. Surprised me, but when we ran the numbers, because it's usually Gobble or something like simple and easy. So for it to be the Crew, I was really pleased.
I mean, the Crew has got to be the hands down favorite for Spiel des Jahres.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's not gonna get a Kinderspiel nomination.
Actually, it was nominated.
It won the tennis Spiel this year.
Yeah.
Did
Really?
Yep.
Shows what I know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, maybe if you listen to the right podcast, you'd find out this sort of thing.
Listen to this crap.
All right, so I'm going to jump in here with a general question for the group here, and then we'll play another mini game here. So, when you were growing up, what was your dream job?
So I found my book, this book that was for kids that had to fill out all this stuff that I filled out when I was 5. I know because there's a big, terribly rendered 5 where it asks how old you are. And I wrote bartender. I'm not unhappy with that answer. It's not what I do, but like, I don't even know why.
I was just about to ask why.
Yeah, was Cheers a big influence on you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, my dad had a few friends who were bartenders, and I'm guessing that must be the reason. But like, I was so delighted to find out that like, as like, a single digit kid, I was like, oh yeah, I want to grow up to be a bartender. Like, I can't even imagine what I thought the job was.
I think at one point after you found it, you told me that you liked interacting with people and hearing their stories. So maybe you thought it'd be fun.
I was fine.
I blame Cheers.
Maybe.
Right?
What about that Tom Cruise movie Cocktail? That's the thing.
Oh yeah, he wanted to. That's my Cocktail, outstanding.
I want that to be true, but I don't know what year Cocktail came out. I think
It was the 80s for sure. It was the mid 80s.
Yeah,
wanna
early
be a
mid 80s.
bartender, but I wanted to go to bartending school because I thought it would be really fun to learn how to mix drinks. And I just thought the whole fun of like pouring things and watching things change color and stirring them up just sounded like fun.
She got
You
an
wanted to be
athletic
a chemist.
scholarship.
Yeah. Someday maybe I'll do it. But I don't want to be a bartender. That sounds like a horrible job. Sounds like talking to a bunch of annoying people and dealing with drunk people.
I wanted to be a
game store owner.
Fool.
Molly.
I wanted to be a country music singing veterinarian. I was able to. I was able to shadow a veterinarian, like just spend the day with him when I was in like 9th grade, and he said, "Stick with country music."
Can concur. Having grown up on a dairy farm, a vet's life is mostly sticking your appendages where man was never meant to stick them. And,
yep, that was the first thing we did that day.
A lot of that. Hello, Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde has joined us. When I was before kindergarten, my mom tells me that my dream was to be a combination of Woody Allen and Fred Astaire.
Fred Allen.
Yeah, Fred, yeah. But
I can see that.
But when you would play, like, what do you want to be? I was always a police detective. And so when I went to kindergarten, I had all these like denim jackets that in my head were blazers. And so I would always be the police detective. And one day my mom says, "Oh, I'm sorry, they're all dirty. You can wear your overalls." And I'm like, you can't play police detective in overalls. Come on. In that way that little kids are so sure of things. And I distinctly remember I got to school and my friends, like, I was super bummed, and my friends went, "Well, you're just undercover." And everything was fine. They cheered me right up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, mine is not humorous, or I'm sure Ezra will come up with something to say about it. But I grew up in the Apollo era. I'm old, and I absolutely wanted to be an astronaut. So much. Who else said same?
reason. Same
Jeff?
reason.
Yeah.
I was 5 in 1968. So.
I was 8 in 1969 when we landed on the moon, and it was an amazing moment. I was able to stay. My parents let me stay up to watch it, and Neil Armstrong didn't get out of the LEM until like 11:30 or something like that, which is really late for an 8-year-old. So I remember it like it was yesterday, and I firmly believe that we will see people set foot on Mars before, well, the end of my lifetime. I certainly hope so. I think it's going to happen. And it's kind of cool living in Florida now because I go up to the Kennedy Space Center once in a while to watch a launch. I saw the Mars 2020 mission with the Perseverance rover, which is on its way and going to land on Mars in February. I saw that go off in July. And occasionally when one of the more heavy lift rockets are going off, I can look out this window right here, especially if it's at night, and I can see the trail of it, going, and it's really kind of cool. So
cool.
I follow space a lot, and it's one of my pastimes now in retirement. It's kind of fun.
I love it.
How many? Wait, do we have a counter for how many times Buonocore says retirement?
Oh, you have to drink when I say I'm retired.
That's
There we
the
go.
new
All right.
Spiel drinking game. Oh God, someone's gonna die.
I wanted to be a lot of things, and astronaut or rocket scientist were definitely on my list. Though I wasn't, I'm not a child of the 60s. I'm a child of the 80s, but I still wanted to be an astronaut, a rocket scientist, a vet, a archaeologist, and was there one more? Yeah, I think it was mostly those: archaeologist, veterinarian, rocket scientist, and astronaut.
Is
They
an
were my main ones.
archaeologist Indiana Jones thing?
Well, actually, there's a Norwegian practical archaeologist named Tul Heyerdahl. So he's as close to a real life Indiana Jones as you can get. He actually did
Or
lots of
Heyerdahl in English. We know him.
yeah, he went to the U.S. to get money.
I actually learned that name from that celebrities game where you have to guess celebrities. Time's Up.
Oh,
something like
cool.
that.
Yeah. He was a really interesting guy. But yeah, I think probably Indiana Jones and him were probably inspiring the archaeologist side of things. But
Is he the
always
guy
been
that
interesting.
sailed the Kon-Tiki?
Yes, he's a Kon-Tiki guy.
Okay, cool.
Kon-Tiki, Raw. He had several Raw missions as well.
Yeah.
His museum in Oslo is one of my favorite museums. It's great.
He's kind of in that Werner Herzog delightfully insane school of.
Yeah, just insane enough to do those crazy things, but inspiring and intelligent enough to actually get away with it.
To be fair, I think every archaeologist I know is somewhere on the insane scale.
Yeah, same here. I have several archaeologist friends, and they're all a little interesting people. Yeah. I
was like this close to doing a joint honours degree in chemistry and archaeology. I chose not to at the final point, but and did biochem instead. But archaeology was certainly a thing. I can't remember why it clashed. Scheduling, I think, but it was a valid option, mostly to do carbon 14 dating, that kind of the technical side of archaeology, rather than necessarily grubbing around in the mud. But there's a reason the lower bar in the student union was referred to as the archaeology department. I just say that.
Anyone else?
I can go. First of all, I apologize for the blood on my nose, but my cat jumped off and
Nice.
Yes,
Feel your pain.
The joys of cat ownership. You have to tell people, no, I'm not trying to commit suicide. I just have a cat.
Yeah. First time it's ever happened on my nose.
If you don't want me to spotlight you, you can just say, "Don't spotlight me."
No, it's fine.
Can we zoom in on
I have
Mark's
to have a
nose?
bloody nose.
Mark, this whole thing is just an intervention about your cutting.
But I don't remember wanting to be anything when I was very young, other than a Duke brother. But when I got to high school, I narrowed it down to chef or engineer, and I chose engineer. Part of my problem is I grew up in a tiny little rural area in Michigan, so I didn't know a lot of the things that people could be as a career. So like if I had it to do over again, I might be an art historian, or I would love to be like a tour guide on one of the riverboats in Chicago, the architectural river guide, or something a little more artistic than being the engineer that I am.
That's a good tour. I've done that one.
Yeah, although I make pretty good money, so that's good.
Yeah, everybody wants to be a tour guide until they see how much tour guides get paid.
Particular boat tour, they're all volunteers. So
that's remunerative. Yeah.
Lucio, I think I saw your hand go up.
Oh yeah. So in 6th grade, thank you, Mr. Morrison. My 6th grade teacher was our science teacher, and man, he did a lot of very cool hands-on experiments. And so from that point on, I was like, oh man, I want to be a scientist. It's nice, but I also am getting like blasted with text right now because I'm training someone on how to sex moths. So that's really cool.
Yeah, explain what your job. So you've actually gone from like what you wanted to do as a kid, and you actually are doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, to it's one of those things like you grew up. I mean, along the same thing with Mark. I was 30 something now. I was like, oh man, you know what? I really enjoy this.
Moths.
Right? Yeah. I was like, I enjoy this writing thing. Maybe I should have done that. So pursuing that a bit, but so we're doing moth pheromone research in the lab I'm at, and so I'm not doing it right now because we're not allowed to. But the 4 hours of my day was spent sitting in darkness, telling male moths they were going to get to mate and then not, because there's actually just a piece of paper they think smells like a female at the end of the wind tunnel. It's a weird job.
Yeah.
Were you audibly telling them that they're going to get laid?
No, I promise.
No, olfactorily, maybe? Is that how it would work?
So not like a moth wingman then.
Yeah, no, I'm a moth cock blocker, I guess. It's not. They try really. Oh man, I had.
You have to be a moth baller. Hold on.
one of the best and saddest moments in the wind tunnel. So I'm sitting there in the dark for 4 hours a day. It really messes up your vision. But I'm sitting there in the dark, and I see this moth fly. It touches the pheromone that we have at the end of the wind tunnel. I was like, oh, cool, that's a data point. And, start marking it, and then it just kills over and dies. I was like, that guy dedicated himself to science.
He died smelling what he loved.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Debbie is another one who ended up doing.
Oh yeah. So was it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So I've always wanted to write books for kids. But of course, everyone knows you can't make a living from that. So I actually applied. I began the app. I had no idea because I love computer programming, but I actually applied for engineering at University of Waterloo, and then I changed my mind. I ended up going to University of Toronto for computer science, and so I graduated with the programming. I worked as a programmer analyst, but now I write and illustrate books for kids. So I am actually working at the position that I always wanted because of Jeff.
Yay.
Cool.
That is awesome.
Little known Jeff and Debbie fact. Debbie has a degree in computer science, and she's a writer. I have a degree in philosophy, and I'm a computer programmer.
That's how that works. Also, no one has mentioned Debbie's harp in the background. We talked about it before, but man, a whole harp just sitting there.
I wish I could play it well.
Interlude.
Yes, we might need a little interlude music here in a moment.
No, wait. Debbie, can you play me out? I'm gonna reminisce about something real quick. Can you?
Thinking about sexing moths.
Totally not tuned, but in the podcast, if you want interlude, here's what I can play.
Yes.
Everyone needs to look wistfully into.
I know. I'm having a dream right now.
Yeah.
Remembering. Nice.
It's still better than the theremin solo we had earlier.
Perhaps you can play the theme song live at the end of the show.
klezmer music on harp. That would be it.
I think Doug wants to go. I saw a sign flashing in his
sign. Yes, I put up the sign.
You wanted to be a giant?
Yeah. Oh, wait, not just any giant. I wanted to grow up and replace Willie Mays in center field for the San Francisco Giants. Now, mind you, I came upon this like really early. When I was 5, the Giants moved to the Bay Area, moved to San Francisco, and people told me they've got Willie Mays. He's the best player in baseball, which was not wrong. It was absolutely correct. So for me, Willie Mays was like everything. Oh, if I could replace him when I grow up, that would be the best. Quickly realized, oh, you have to have athletic talent to a very high degree, which wasn't necessarily a thing. So I tried out the next best, which was announcing games. So literally, I'm at home one day, nobody else is home. I am pretending to announce a Giants baseball game to the extent that I don't hear my brother and his friend come in the house, walk in the room, realize what I'm doing, and then laugh their off at me, which immediately crushed that to such a level, such a like, on me. But to bring it back to the modern day, you could say, oh, look, he's on the modern radio, a podcast, doing kind of what he set out to do. It ain't baseball, but once in a while he gets to talk about baseball, board games, which he also loves.
Excellent.
Here, here.
We need to set him up to call a play-by-play on 3 or 4 people playing a board game sometime. I would totally watch that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh my God, he's taking his worker. He's going to send him. No, don't. Oh, he sent him to the get wheat space. Unorthodox.
On the streaming channel that I do stuff on Twitch, a couple of years ago, they had a Smash Brothers, like a fighting video game tournament that we ran live, and I was like, I don't want to play that. I'm terrible at that game. So me and another guy, there was a guy there who was really serious about it, and so I was the announcer and he was the color guy, and like I was like sub best in show. I was like Fred Willard in Best of Show, and I was just like, oh, and what is that, man? Like. He at one point, the guy who was doing it said, yeah, back when I used to organize Smash Brothers tournaments in college, and I could not let that go. I would just like every time, like, if you're just joining us, Alan used to organize Smash Brothers tournaments in college. I was not good. He was like, no, the DPS on that guy. And I'm like, and what's DPS?
Jeremy, we haven't heard from Jeremy.
I have a recollection of when I was be about grade 7-ish. We had in art class we were asked to draw what we want to be when we grow up, and I distinctly recall drawing a character with very rubbery legs sitting at a desk writing. And I just had a love for reading and writing, and I wanted to be a writer when I grew up. So not quite to the class, or not I haven't realized it, not like Debbie has, but I did end up writing. One year my parents gave me a big chunky like electronic, it was called an Olivetti Top 100. It was a keyboard with a little mini screen on it, and I ended up writing a manuscript for a kid's novel on that, which was my dreams didn't match my talent. And later on, I actually ended up publishing, I think I put on my old defunct website a fan fiction crossover for Warcraft and Starcraft.
That's cool.
Which came to about 75,000 words. So, but the terrible thing was I had this plan where I I'd write every day because I wanted to do this writing. So my minimum was a paragraph. So I'd write a paragraph every day for, I think it would last almost 2 years. But because I really didn't have the incentive to write more, it came across as a bit disjointed. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Wayback Machine might have, you might be able to find that online somewhere, who knows? But yeah, I've looked at it since, and the quality is lacking somewhat, but
I always like to joke that like December is November's National Novel Writing Month. I wish December was National Novel Editing Month.
revising, yeah.
Yes. Writing is rewriting. That's what I was told over and over in university, that's for sure. But getting it on the page is the first step. You got to be diligent enough to do it. And it sounds like you did that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to go here before we go on to another game? Anybody have thoughts, contributions?
Well, I always wanted to be a marine biologist. I was obsessed with whales when I was in second and third grade, and I knew every type of whale, I knew what they ate, I knew where they lived. That was the thing I definitely knew I wanted to do, except for that I had this phobia of open water, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to be able to study whales without actually staying in the water.
A curious aspiration for a woman who's never lived on a coast.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. And I was, I have lived in the Midwest most of my life, but when I was 5, we moved to Washington, D.C. And the first thing my dad did there, the first weekend we were there, was buy a boat. And my mother, I think, nearly killed him. And he said, "It's okay. It comes with lessons." And so they took their sailing lessons. We got life jackets, and we spent every weekend on the boat, on the water. Unfortunately, there were no whales in the Chesapeake Bay. I was very disappointed about that. But occasionally, if you got really lucky and you sailed south, you would see dolphins, and that was very exciting. But yeah, no, I've still never seen a whale in person aside from SeaWorld. So someday I'd like to do a whale watching thing. That'd be fun. But I still
in Norway, maybe.
Yes, that would be delightful.
There you go.
I'm all for that.
Done.
Yeah.
Do it. James?
Yeah. So when I was really young, I wanted to go and do like all sorts of outdoorsy kind of sciencey stuff. So this sort of echoes a bunch of other people. That didn't quite work out for me. Then there was a period in like junior high, early high school where a friend of mine and I were playing a lot of games and wanted to either build our own role-playing game or some sort of space opera kind of game, and worked a lot on that sort of thing. And that also did not turn out, and also to sort of echo a couple of other people in the 70s and 80s, you didn't really know that there were other options. It wasn't like you could go and Google it and say, here's a thing, and here's who I could talk to. You just kind of went to the library, and if the library didn't have anything on the topic, then you just really didn't know it existed. So, and I ended up, again, like some others, wanting to be a writer, like writing, liked books, liked reading, and I've ended up as a book editor. So that, ended up being a part of what was going on. So for all of you who are talking about words, absolutely. That's yep. So it's good. Thanks for everybody. That's for everybody talking about words. Yes.
Alan, Chen?
I don't have a funny story.
Neither did I. So
doesn't have to be funny.
I love cars and I still do. But when I was little, I had tons of toy cars and my favorite was a toy truck. So I wanted to be a truck driver.
That's great.
I'm just relieved that anybody else wanted to do a blue collar job like as a kid, like I did.
Well, why don't we move on? Mark Smalley, I know you have a game racked up and ready. You texted me yesterday and said, "Hey, I got a game I want to contribute." So I'm gonna let Mark drive the bus here.
Okay, so the inspiration for this was a party game that Facebook threw at me one day called like Puns Against Humanity or something like that. And essentially, it just gave you cards that had titles on them, and then you could, like a dry erase card, and you could cross those out to make new words. So what I did was looked at my game collection and just looked at my game collection for games where I could change one letter to make a pun on the game, and then I kind of wrote questions around the pun that my wife and I came up with. So
You have an example?
I do. I have actually looks like I've got about 30.
Speaking of editing.
So we've got instead of cartographers, we have fartographers, or paladins of the Vest Kingdom, power grip. So those are the kinds of puns that we're dealing with. And then the example, just to give you an example of the kinds of questions that I came up with, this is what I sent Stephen. It's what you would need to climb aboard and treat all the other passengers with much contempt. That would be the ticket to rude.
Ooh.
So anyway, all of these games are either in my collection, which doesn't mean much to most people, other than like, it doesn't mean much to other than like 5 people in the world. Or they're in, I would say, at least the top 300. I think we kept it to at least the top 300. So I'll just read you like a little blurb that you might see on the back of the box. And then just as the whole group, you guys can jump in. Some of these might be really hard. Some of these might be stupidly difficult.
But no easy ones.
Yeah, the scale is from really hard to stupidly difficult.
Yeah, that's the part. I haven't been able to vet these against anyone else other than my wife.
Anything at like the Boynocore level of intelligence, it's really, I need something really kind of down here.
Right. So so I can tell you this much: none of the answers will be Lord of the Dings, or myths versus minions. So those didn't make the cut. So let's just start with let's just start with this one. Come to Venice Beach, California to join your fellow firefighters, wrestlers, and Fabio in this macho stacking game about sculpting the perfect bod.
Read it again.
Come to Venice Beach, California to join your fellow firefighters, wrestlers, and Fabio in this macho stacking game about sculpting the perfect bod.
Is that Flashpoint?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. No,
I like that.
No, but I like
Flashpoint is
that.
like wet
I was
wang.
thinking about Flashpoint too.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of stacking games like Jenga or Via Paletti or
So
Super Rhino.
I can toss another little clue on there if you want.
Yeah, please.
Let's in this game you stack oddly shaped pieces to create sculptures, often trying to see who can stack the highest.
hunk art.
It is hunk art. Yes.
Ah.
Hunk art.
Oh, very clever. Tortured, but very clever.
It is hunk art. Yes. Okay. So this game portrays conspiracy like no other. At the behest of G. Gordon Liddy, McDonald's scandalously decides to replace their French fries with Pringles.
Read it
Gotta be
again.
something. It's got to be something with Watergate.
This game portrays conspiracy like no other. At the behest of G. Gordon Liddy, McDonald's scandalously decides to replace their French fries with Pringles.
Tatergate.
It is Tatergate. Yes,
Aha.
Tatergate.
Oh.
It is indeed Tatergate. Okay.
Half credit to Ezra.
Pringles aren't. There's no potato anywhere.
I know, but I needed a potato chip that people would recognize as a potato chip without
They're
having to
made
say-
from potato paste.
They've looked at potatoes. That's what counts.
And they actually burn like a candle. From the holidays, they burn like a candle. You can lit them on fire and hold them in your hands.
Wow.
Okay, so here's a personal favorite. Due to a disastrous lack of tissues and handkerchiefs, French, British, and Iroquois soldiers slip and slide upon the ground for which they fight in this tense deck building game.
Oh gosh, it's what's the name of that game?
Yeah.
The Martin Wallace game.
Yeah, it's the Martin Wallace. Yeah.
Few acres of snot.
Winter something?
It is a few acres of snot.
Few acres of snot. There it is. Yeah.
Few acres of
That's
snot.
right. Oh,
Nice.
that just made my day. Somebody got it. The other option there was a few acres of no, KNOW.
By the way, Mark with 2 small children has been through a few acres of snot.
Yes, I have. Let's see. Let's go with, this is a short one. An elaborate asymmetrical take on exploring the cute little world of flatulence.
Oh, modern fart.
Oh, no, that's close.
It's got to be something with fart.
Read it again.
An elaborate asymmetrical take on exploring the cute little world of flatulence.
Although maybe it's cute. What's a cute word for fart? Poot?
Toot.
Look more at asymmetrical. Wait. What'd you say?
Toot?
It's
toot.
You're close.
Oh, it's toot. It's like root.
Toot. Yeah.
It's poot.
Poot.
It's poot.
Yeah, that's
Poot.
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. You can. Yes. I would like to blame that on the kids, but it's not. The reason that my kids are talk about dirty jokes or potty humor is it's their dad. It's not the kids. It's the dad. Okay. Here we go. Humanity finally exhausted all of Earth's resources, and now their quest to find a new home has finally ended. In this tableau building game, you and your fellow players compete to change the surface of your quiz giver to make him more habitable.
Terraforming Mark.
Terraforming Mark, yes.
Maybe I should have got that one.
I was like waiting for terraforming bars. I was waiting to like throw in the
Okay.
Set up for you.
So I've got more. Do you want me to keep going?
Let's do a couple more. Sure, yeah.
Sure, man, yeah.
Okay. Raise your horns of mead and toast to John Arbuckle's canine pal as he is finally given his own pan of lasagna.
Feast of Odie.
Feast for Odie, yeah. Feast for Odie. Okay. Use your wits to aid Jace, Liliana, and Chandra in their attempt to shampoo Garrick's nasty hair before they leave for the next tournament.
Oh, that's magic for lathering.
That is magic the lathering. That is.
Oh my god.
That was,
That
by
is-
the way,
That's a romance novel.
no, that was actually the name of my magic porn that I wrote.
There it is. Yeah.
Magic the lathering. Okay, here's another personal favorite.
There was a lot of tapping involved.
It looks like I have 4 more. Okay. In his inaugural speech, JFK hearkened to those that prefer to stay in the back, away from the front line. Play as the Americans or the Soviets in this game where you must use clever card play to ensure you live up to the legacy JFK laid out.
Twilight Struggle.
Twilight Snuggle?
Twilight Snuggle.
I
Snuggle?
thought I heard it.
Twilight Snuggle?
It's not Snuggle.
No.
I'll read it again. In his inaugural speech, JFK hearkened to those that prefer to stay in the back, away from the front line. Play as the Americans or the Soviets in this game where you must use
Twilight
clever-
Huddle.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Huddle.
Straggle.
Twilight Straggle. It is Twilight Straggle.
All right.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I like Twilight Snuggle though. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yet another romance novel.
Yeah.
So we thought of a lot that we just loved, but I was trying to stick with only changing one letter
Right.
to completely, like change the whole meaning. Such as, inspired by an upset stomach, this Martin Wallace game takes you through the development of toilet technology, from the Phoenicians to modern era, and all those desperate moments in between.
got to be Through the Ages, but
No, that's not Martin.
It's not Wallace.
No,
It's
it's
a
not.
conflict of that game.
Study of porcelain.
I like that.
Brass? No.
Brass. Maybe it's
So-
just ass.
Ass.
Yeah, I was just wait.
So this game shares some DNA with automobiles, if you guys are familiar with that.
Love
at all.
automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll read it again. Inspired by an upset stomach, this Martin Wallace game takes you through the development of toilet technology, from the Phoenicians to the modern era and all those desperate moments in between.
God, I want to say Flush Point, but that's a different one altogether.
Game of
What's that
Thrones.
got to do with water?
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game
is
of
good.
Game of Thrones.
I know his catalog pretty well, and I can't think of it.
Yeah.
The game is a one-word title, has a one-word title, and it's another word for boat.
Boat.
Oh God, can we say that on this show?
Sure.
Is it
It's
shit?
not Dice Tower, man.
It's shits. It's shits.
The original title, so people can see the pun.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Ships
Yeah.
is the original title.
Yes.
Okay. So no rule is too convoluted for Fantasy Flight's newest Lovecraftian release that simply seeks to increase the difficulty of this small box game.
Is that Elder Sign? No.
Something with
again?
Arkham Horror?
Read it again.
Card game?
No rule is too convoluted for Fantasy Flight's newest Lovecraftian release that simply seeks to increase the difficulty of this small box game.
Demon's looking at his game.
Yeah.
It mentions Eldritch
Final
Horror.
Hour.
Arkham.
But it's small box. It's the small box one.
Small.
There's one called Final Hour that's fairly new. That's theirs, but I can't make that pun out of that.
I want to make it.
There's Arkham Horror, the card game. That one is small
Yeah.
box.
Arkham Horror, the hard.
Oh, it's Arkham.
That's
Yeah.
it. It is Arkham Horror, the hard game.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you,
So,
Catherine.
by the way, a porno.
Oh my god.
That's bad.
Christina and I just kept giggling every time we'd say it. I had to include it because we just giggled and giggled over time. Okay, so here's my last one.
All right.
States like Colorado, Oregon, and Illinois were quite progressive in their move to legalize recreational cannabis. However, in some regards, they were a tad short-sighted. In this dice-chucking RPG, you will cooperate with your fellow players to clear the haze and curtail the overpopulation of water pipes.
Got to be bongs in there.
Hash Finder. Hash Finder?
That's great.
Brass binder.
Hash Finder, I said.
Oh, hash
No?
finder. That's
Hash
perfect.
Finder is good. Yeah.
It's got to
No?
be something with bongs.
I was
Like
thinking
water
bongs
pipes.
too.
I
Yeah.
like-
RPG with bongs.
Flash joint.
There it is.
So this game, it's an immensely expandable RPG from Chip Theory Games.
Is that Gloomhaven? Gloomhaven?
No, not Chip Theory.
Oh, that's not them. That's
That the bones. Too many.
Oh yeah, is that the
Too many
bongs.
Too many bongs.
Too many bongs.
Yeah.
That's right. Too many
too many bones to too many bongs.
Too many bongs. That's good.
I was really waiting for you to say Quarks of Quedlinburg,
Sure.
and I don't know if that's spelled right. So
I like it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you, Mark. Yay.
hey,
that was Daniel-esque. You know, he used to do the limericks.
Well, I
Yeah.
kept channeling Daniel whenever I was writing the clues for it. I just channeled Daniel.
Yes. All right. Well, does anyone need a break, or we can go right into bad jokes with Francie? Or that's not an invitation to leave while Francie's doing it.
I was gonna say.
Please
That's
do.
not allowed.
I went and unloaded the groceries a
I have
long
new
time.
snacks.
I'm gonna have a guest for Rachel. Rachel enjoys the bad jokes, so my lovely wife is going to join us here.
Yay, Rachel!
Hey, Rachel!
Hey. All right, well, let's go, Francie. Francie, you're
All
up.
right,
This is the tradition for time immemorial. Francie comes with bad jokes. Here we go.
Wait, which kid are you going to blame them on this time? Those kids must be 20 by now.
Yeah. I don't have any kids to blame this time. I haven't seen. Sam hasn't given me any good bad jokes. So joke. Well, actually, I'm going to start with an off-season joke. All of my jokes are seasonal, except for the first one, which is also seasonal, but we've already passed that season. So, the first one is a Halloween joke. So, why don't monsters like to eat ghosts?
They taste like sheep.
Because they taste like sheet.
Yes.
Lots of face palming going on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But, that's how it goes. Okay, so now we will move on to the seasonally appropriate jokes. How does Santa keep track of all the fireplaces he's visited?
Footprints?
He keeps a
Footprints?
log.
A log.
I miss it.
What do you call a kid that doesn't believe in Santa?
A Jew.
No. A rebel without a clause. Yeah, they just keep getting better.
When?
Do they?
Do they? They do, yeah. Why are Christmas trees so bad at knitting?
They lose their needles.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Nice.
Nice.
What does a gingerbread man use to keep his bed warm? A cookie sheet. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack?
The abdominable snowman?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Snowman. Yep.
Snowman.
And thank you for having saved me from mispronouncing abdominal. Hard to say that word right.
Abdominal.
Okay. I'm not sure you're ready for this one, but maybe Stephen Buonocore knows this one. What's the most popular Christmas wine?
I didn't get what I wanted.
Oh,
that's close. It was, I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Bad.
It is bad.
Bad.
What is Santa's favorite potato chip?
Pringle
Crisp
bells.
Pringle.
Chris Pringles.
Crisp Pringles.
Crisp Pringles.
Crisp Pringles. Yeah.
Which, if you've learned nothing else from tonight, they're highly flammable.
Good to know.
Do we want to talk about how Gene Wolfe was one of the guys who invented them? The author, the science fiction author? Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
really? I had no idea. That's crazy.
Nobody knew until after he passed away.
Wow.
He kept it a secret. It's weird.
Really? Weird on this show?
Incredible!
Another Pringle fun fact. Do you know they only have seasoning on one side?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know they had.
People have done way too much Pringles research.
I worked in the Pringle factory. So,
Wait,
Wait.
I kind of buried the lead there, Christoph.
Good dream there.
Yeah, but if you like the salt, you put them one side down in your mouth, and if you don't like,
So wait, Christoph is Chris Pringle then.
Another secret unveiled.
Okay. What's green, covered in tinsel, and goes ribbit, ribbit?
A frog with tinsel?
A Yule
Christmas tree frog.
A mistletoe.
Oh.
I like Yule Frog, damn it.
Yule Frog.
Yule Frog
Pretty
is
too.
good.
Yeah.
I like.
Okay. Why can't penguins fly?
They don't know the word.
9/11.
They're not tall enough to be pilots.
They know what they did.
Sorry, what was the answer, Francie?
They're not tall enough to be pilots.
Sorry, I asked.
Yeah. You should know better, Mark. Come on.
Just let it go by.
All right. This one is for Stephen and Darrell. Who hides in a bakery at Christmas?
Apparently, Stephen and Darrell.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
That's a good guess.
Not bad.
We're making her bad jokes better. That's the problem.
Is there any way to make them worse?
You might have a point there.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we changed one letter of the answer to make them
A Yule dog.
a Yule dog.
So, the answer is a mince pie.
Oh.
I've saved the best one for last for you.
Oh, good.
Really?
I just heard last.
Really?
Is that because it's the last one?
Yeah.
Therefore the best.
What do you call a bunch of chess players bragging about their games in a hotel lobby?
This podcast.
Oh, yeah, I know this one.
BGG Con.
Yeah. Something about chestnuts in an open foyer. Or
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
Just an open foyer. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Boasting in
that's
an
a
open
good
foyer.
joke.
Boasting. Yeah.
Yes.
Say it again.
That's a good joke.
Yes. Chestnuts boasting in an open foyer.
Very nice. That one was actually pretty good.
Does anyone else have jokes to counter the?
I got a couple.
I think Gubbins said he had a couple.
Okay. Why does Santa have a garden? To practice his ho-ho-hoing.
Okay.
Back to Francie.
And I'm only going to do one more, so be thankful. Why is it bad to tell COVID-19 jokes?
Oh dear.
Because they're tasteless.
Oh, oh man.
Oh. Took me a second.
I just lost my sense of humor.
What's the difference between snowmen and snow women?
Snowballs?
Snowballs, yes.
Snowballs. Oh, nice.
What did Adam say on the day before Christmas?
What's Christmas?
It's Christmas Eve.
There you go.
Christmas with a condom. Yeah, that's nice.
I tried to
Good
go
if
work.
you boil a funny bone.
I can't. It's too humorous.
Oh.
Ow. Ow. That's bad.
Just a laughing stock.
Oh.
That's good.
What does Santa suffer from if he gets stuck in the chimney?
Oh no.
Claustrophobia.
Oh.
Make it.
How much did Santa pay for his sleigh? Nothing. It was on the house.
Oh.
Why did Santa's helper see the doctor? Because he had low elf esteem. Yeah, I'm just reading this off the internet.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Time to move
It
on.
has to be someone's fault. Whose fault is this?
Let's move on.
Francie. This is all Francie's fault. She's the one who started this whole mess. So
She
let's
did.
move on.
Thank you, Francie.
Thank you, Francie.
Thank you,
And
Thank
Francie.
you.
Yay.
and we're sorry. Whew. All right. Anyone need a break? We can take one more break before we bring this thing home. Everybody good?
Good.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Which game do I want to do? Let's do What Do You Know here. All right, so we'll finish this out with what do you know, and then we'll do some recommendations. So this game, we'll go back to Team Theremin and Team Vaccine here for this game. So there are multiple topics for this game, and each team will get to pick a topic. Sometimes the topic may be out of question, so if one team picks the topic, it may be off the board, and you won't be able to pick it again because I only wrote so many questions. So they are all kind of fill in the blank trivia questions. If anybody's been on the show before, you know the drill, and you can fill in the people. It's not that hard. The categories are current events, people, places, science, odds and ends. Those are your categories. They are fill in the blank trivia questions. So I will read you out, sort of tell you a little story, and leave out a part, which I will say blank. And your job is to try to figure out what the word or the phrase is that goes in where the blank is in the sentence. So we started with Team Theremin last time. We'll start with Team Vaccine.
And we're still tied.
And you're still tied. Yeah, that's true. So we have current events, people, places, science, and odds and ends.
What do you guys think? Odds and ends?
Science.
Science.
Science. Apparently, science. Yeah.
Sure. I'll be on.
I don't think Darrell's on a team yet.
Yeah. So which team do I get to pick?
Oh, you're on Team Vaccine because Alan Chen joined Team Theremin, so you're on Team Vaccine. Which
so who do I have to blame?
For the people on the Zoom call, everyone on Team Vaccine, raise your hand so Darrell knows who's on his team.
I can work with that.
Now
All
we're
right.
Team Mornington Crescent.
All right. So this comes from Bangkok, Thailand. Sorawat Kittabanthorn, a materials scientist, is developing methods to convert blank into a powder which can be used as a protein substitute. Among his first prototypes is steak. So he's creating a powdered substance that he can make steak out of. What is the thing that he is converting into the powder to make fake steak?
Garbage.
I think it's insect.
I'm feeling insects.
Insect? I would, yeah, I could be.
That seems logical.
I was going to go with like, my first joke was like bones or something,
How specific do we have to be?
Well, specific enough to get it right. I don't know how to answer it.
I think I like insects.
Wait. So Alex, how sure are you? Did you see that somewhere? He might actually.
No, I just made that up. I just said garbage.
Okay.
I'm not even on the team that's being asked, I don't think.
Yes. Yeah, you
Yes,
are,
you
man.
are.
Our team.
You're on the
Vaccines for the win, man.
You're on the team.
Yeah, let's go
Do
insects.
you have anything better than insects?
I don't.
Answer is smaller
I
steak.
think I heard insects somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
What
It's
did
from
you
a
say?
guy from Curry Mallet.
Well, that's
Right,
what he uses to powder them. Is a curry mallet.
that's how you. Yeah, that's how you smash them.
What's your answer?
Insects.
Insects.
Bugs.
Insects. The answer is chicken feathers.
Oh,
Damn.
Oh.
All
He
right.
has figured out a way
Wow.
to make powder out of chicken feathers. In
Well,
Europe
that's the easy
alone,
part.
in Europe alone, there are over 2.3 million pounds of chicken feathers that are discarded every year, and he has figured out a way to powder them down and is making steak. And the one I left out is chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets made out of chicken feathers.
I think McDonald's has already beat him to that.
Yeah, really.
So in the future, people are just going to be like, this tastes like chicken feathers.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant that their chicken strips they call chicken feathers.
Really?
really?
I'm drawing a blank on what it is. But it was local. Yeah, I think.
Wait,
they
I call
were-
menu item.
Okay, so I might have been hungry when I was making these questions.
Guys, I'm sorry. Chicken Feather is actually a town in England.
All right. Team Theremin is up next. So there is still one more science, so it's still on the board. So you have current events, people, places, science, odds and ends.
Science again.
I'm good with
Great.
that.
Sure, okay. Fine.
Science? Okay. When first introduced in London, the creators of this hired Bumper Harris, a one-legged man, to use it in front of an audience to show that it was safe. What is it?
I can't answer. I know this.
Yeah. Alan, you have to recuse yourself since you wrote this.
One-legged man.
I'm not on this question, but could you repeat it?
Yeah.
All right. When first introduced in London, the creators of this hired Bumper Harris, a one-legged man, to use it in front of an audience to show that it was safe. What is it?
An escalator?
Pogo stick.
Christoph,
Is
was
it
it
mescaline?
A hoverboard.
Yes.
Escalator.
Yeah, that was it. Mescaline. Yes.
Oh yeah.
A Segway.
Black tar.
Now we
heroin?
know where your brain goes, Ezra.
I like escalator.
Just
Maybe
thinking out loud. Don't say
Something
it's
that has
right.
nothing to do with him having one leg. Is like the yo-yo.
They were really worried about how safe the yo-yo was.
Or was it Stephen? Paris or London?
London. I did forget. I want to take a pause here, and we need to acknowledge that we are in the presence of royalty. The champion of the 2020 Spielathon, Lucio Rodriguez, is actually part of this here. He deserves special honors.
I'm upset I didn't have a fanfare when I introduced myself.
Oh man.
Yeah. My bad. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Harp action. There you go. Yeah.
Wait, where's your
Oh
crown?
yeah. He hasn't received the crown. Is in the mail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sure. It always is. Yeah. Crown is always in the mail. Yeah.
That's what they said to William of Orange too.
That's a way Homer.
I should have.
I'm surprised it worked.
I should have arranged for a royal fanfare from Debbie for Lucio.
Yes.
No, it's okay. I'm good.
back to the question. I've given you too much time now.
I don't know. Do you want to go escalator or you want to go hoverboard?
Probably a handgun.
Rubber boots.
What, Pringles?
Pringles?
Rubber boots. Let's try it with one rubber boot first.
Pogo stick.
Pogo stick.
I need an answer.
A unicycle.
I think pogo stick.
I don't know.
Unicycle is good as well. Pogo stick is
Jeremy's
fun.
still our spokesman.
No, you can come to.
Somebody's got it.
We can make it.
Say it, Jeremy. Whatever you want.
Sorry? Oh, I'm saying it.
Jeremy.
Oh,
Pogo stick.
I kind of like the idea of the pogo stick.
Pogo stick?
Pogo stick.
I mean, I don't know.
You were so close. You'd said the right answer. It's not
Is it
pogo stick. It is in fact the escalator.
Escalator.
Oh, what was that?
Sorry, Jeff.
Here's the little factoids. Bumper is said to have lost a leg during a train accident. He actually they have a little display at the London Transport Museum with a little one-legged action figure.
Oh my god.
Explaining the history of the escalator there. In France, when they were testing escalators, people were so scared to do it, they had to give a very French incentive to get them to use it, and that was to hand out glasses of cognac to people to get onto the escalator.
You got to be drunk to ride this thing.
Yeah.
So
So
the tie is maintained.
tie is maintained. I
Tie
thought
is
for a second.
maintained.
What category, guys? It sounds like science is off the board. Thank goodness.
Science is off the board. You have current
Is it
events.
Isn't that?
In and
Where are
out.
the current events?
Ads do current events.
Okay.
That shit just happened.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all
remember
paying
it like
such
it was
close
yesterday.
attention to
I'm
the
ready for
Right,
I'm ready
very.
for technicality. I just made a
Started, it
William.
was still current.
All right. So if we were able to saunter about St. Peter's Square in Vatican City this holiday season, you'd certainly notice a large ceramic nativity scene that's on display.
Mhm.
Many are shocked and outraged by the presence of an astronaut in the nativity scene. But the geeks in the crowd would certainly notice another rather large figure reminiscent of blank.
Is there an astronautical
TARDIS?
A TARDIS? I mean, look, I don't think even Cool Pope is that cool.
You want me to read
Right,
it
and
again?
they wrap.
Yeah, read it again, please.
All right. So if we were able to saunter about St. Peter's Square in Vatican City this holiday season, you'd certainly notice a large ceramic nativity scene that's on display. They do one every year, different one every year. Many, though, this year are shocked and outraged by the presence of an astronaut, but the geeks in the crowd will certainly notice another large figure reminiscent of blank. If I can bring up...
Mandalorian.
Of what?
Said a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I was
Disney
thinking
has their
Chewbacca.
fingers in everything now.
There could be a Chewbacca.
Could it?
I mean,
could it
how
be like Baby Yoda?
Wait, was this the deal where like people were upset because there was like also a Darth Vader in it?
A Darth Vader?
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
like a cloaked dude who kind of looked like Vader. I don't know.
All right, let's go with Darth
That
Vader.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
I like it. It's
That
either that
was
or a
like
monolith.
instinct, but,
Sure.
yeah.
That or a monolith.
What's
Oh,
your
the
what's the final answer?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Sounds like Darth Vader.
You are correct. my
Oh,
friend.
thank you.
I'm bringing up. I'll try to share my screen here. That's why I was a little distracted. I'll share my screen, and of course it'll be in the show notes for the
And that was
listeners.
Alex for the win. Thank you.
So this is why I trust Alex with trivia stuff.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was half listening to NPR while I was cooking something the other day, and I think they covered it.
I vaguely remember hearing something about the astronaut as well. Yeah.
Okay, let me try to share my screen now. I've got the picture up, and remember I said vaguely reminiscent, so I don't want to hear any. Oh, it doesn't look like Darth Vader.
Hey, that doesn't look like Darth Vader.
Your lack of faith is not inspiring. Yeah.
Well, that's Doug.
Let me share the screen.
Oh,
Aquaman.
I would have
That's
gone
not my
with
father.
I would have gone with the Black
Look-
Knight from Monty Python.
To be honest, it looked more like a tiki dude to me. But
No, the
love
Black
it.
Knight from Monty Python, indeed.
Yes,
Yeah, it does. Yep,
I
that's
think the Black
exactly-
Knight from Monty
Yeah.
Python is a
yeah,
figure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all Buckethead.
Why?
Those
you know,
birds are weird.
astronauts
Buckethead. It
don't-
looks like Buckethead.
So there's the
got
whole.
feet on it.
Here's the whole display, and then there's the actual nativity scene. It's pretty
That is a
wacky.
lot
Whole
trippier
thing
than I
is kind of
expected from the Vatican.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That astronaut guy has some serious Cthulhu energy going.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Wow.
This
So
is
apparently-
very Benny Buffano. Do a little Google search and look up Benny Buffano, who was an artist in the 50s and 60s. And I grew up with a Benny Buffano statue in Santa Clara, California, where we lived. It's very that kind of art. If you look at it in that lens, you go, "Oh, I get it." Any other lens, it's like, what?
No, it's
All right, the tie has been broken. Team
been
Theremin.
Yeah, Team Theremin, it's back to you. So let's see, where am I? There are no, what was that? That was a current event. There is still one more current event. So current events, people, places, odds and ends. Those are your categories.
Places.
All right.
Oh yeah, play to my weaknesses. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. A resident of Boston's Back Bay, the Back Bay area, has stumbled. Let me start this over and actually pretend like I can read.
Yes,
A resident of Boston's Back Bay area has stumped archaeologists and locals with their discovery of this tucked into a wall in their house.
Baked beans.
You're not on their team.
Yeah,
I know.
access to Vault 101.
So, a resident of Boston's Back Bay area has stumped archaeologists and locals with the discovery of this tucked into a wall in their house.
It's an elder sign, man.
Was what's the category?
Places.
It's not the access of Vault 101 from Fallout 4.
Thinking something older.
Declaration of Independence.
Fallout 3.
An interdimensional portal.
The
There's a coelacanth in their wall.
Yeah, see
I
it.
think they found a Declaration of Independence this year, an original one.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I
Great,
recall
the
I did
Belgian
find one this year.
Nice that the Belgian was the only one that thought
It
of
was in a Pringles can. That was the.
It was
That's why he
it
knows.
was an original copy of the script of National Treasure.
Oh, maybe they just
we need
found
a
Nicolas
symbolic-
Cage in there.
Yeah.
Which is not actually a national treasure, but okay.
We need an answer from Team Theremin. You've got to bring us back here to a tie if you're gonna get it right.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
We go with the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah,
Sure.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
Sounds good.
Probably cheese.
Well, in that it was a document. You don't get any credit. I'm not giving.
Half a point. Half a point.
There was paper involved,
The
so
Dead
it was a message in a bottle. A message in a bottle buried in the wall of this guy's house. It was dated 1894. It was in a bottle of rye, and it has a message that includes the name Tom Ford and the phrase "6 on Shay." And there's been a huge debate as to what in the world it means. There's actually, I think I'll put a link in the show notes. You can actually, they've taken pictures of the scrawled notes so you can read it, and there's sort of other things in the marginalia that could be notes. Some people think it was a bet on a prize fight because there was a boxer named Shay in the area, and because the betting was illegal at the time, that he had forgotten that he had placed the bet and it just got shoved up in the wall or something. But it was a message in a bottle in a wall in Boston.
Very cool.
I was waiting for one of you guys to be like, that was the final clue, and just dart off. And...
All right, well, let's go one more round to see if Team Vaccine can solidify their position here. So you've got current events, people, places, no more science, and odds and ends.
No
Current
more
events was
science.
good to us last
No
time.
more science.
No more science. Yeah, we want
We'll take no more science for 1,000, Alex.
Odds and ends.
I like odds and ends.
I like odds and ends too.
Sure.
This
I prefer ends to odds, but
okay, it's ends and
I'll
odds.
take the odds.
Okay, thank you for somebody picking this one because this is a good question. All right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I rescind. Let's go back.
yeah. So people and places. Is what we're
Too late. I'm sorry. So odds and ends. My Japanese pronunciation may be bad, but I'm going to give it a shot here. Shuhei Okawara is an entrepreneur in Tokyo making a very peculiar type of mask. Each mask is valued at nearly $1,000, and it looks like blank.
$1,000.
Shit. No.
I'll repeat it here. Shuhei Okawara is an entrepreneur who owns a mask shop in Tokyo, and he makes a very peculiar type of mask. Each mask is valued at nearly $1,000, and it looks like blank.
Could it be like one of those samurai helmets?
What about a human face?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Like
too.
an
It
animal
looks like a face.
Or maybe like an animal face. Or Gubbins, is it a diamond encrusted mask?
Gas mask, yeah.
Gas mask. Right.
It looks like.
I'm going to go with human face. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
down with that.
leaning towards.
Do we need to have a specific human face or just?
I need to know your final answer, and then
I say it looks like Larry the Cable Guy.
Let's say face, and then he'll say be more specific, and then
face.
Or he'll just say wrong
face.
Human face.
Okay.
It is a specific type of face.
Interesting.
You feel like I'm going to give you half a point.
Interesting.
Half a point's enough to win to solidify it.
Is it a masked face?
No.
No.
Because that would
That's not it.
I have another screen share because this is horrifying. I'm going to show it to you in a second. Just be prepared to be horrified.
Specific kind of face.
Ooh, it's a skinless.
That
it's
seems like a pretty strong
face.
clue.
Oh, a
It's a
skinless
skinless
face. I like
face.
skinless face.
How about a burned face?
Well, skinless could be like Slim Goodbody. Burned face is just sad.
Yeah.
So the answer is, in fact, the face of a stranger.
Oh, I've seen this.
These masks are hyper real 3D printed images of a specific person in Japan that he had lots of volunteers. One person was 3D modeled and 3D printed, and these masks are rendered from the image of an actual person who was paid $500, which doesn't seem like enough. And he plans more faces to be done in this manner because they sell like hotcakes, apparently. So here you go. I will.
Oh, Uncanny Valley is.
Oops, sorry.
We get an ad.
I've already got a
Had it all
carrier
wrapped
thing.
up and ready.
Oh, I need a new cellular plan.
Ad. I had it all ready.
This year's
They
Spiel
plan it that
Hall-
way.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
I think this is no.
Something else.
This is not it. Dang it. Let me reload.
Pretty funny though.
Oh, that's kind of cool. He paints people's faces on there.
People's faces onto their masks, so it
Wait.
looks like
There
Oh,
it is.
Lord.
I hate that so much.
That is
Kill the Uncanny Valley there.
So creepy. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm hungry, Steven.
Oh, here.
Time.
Okay.
Old people eat early.
Here we go. Here we go.
Buonocore needs the early bird.
It just gets more horrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
okay. So he takes that
Because-
second.
Oh,
These are some of his prototypes too.
Is that him? I think that's
yeah,
a him.
that's the guy.
Yeah, this is weird.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
that
then
Uncanny
him
Valley
walking
is
out on the street.
That's
Of
the
course-
Uncanny Valley there.
Yeah, it's totally the Uncanny Valley. I
for Tom
agree.
Hanks. Humming.
He looks like he's in a video
Have-
game.
Have you heard the theory about like
I'm selling and buying people's faces? That's why I do it.
Oh, I
Oh
hate
my
this
god,
so
we're so
much.
close to
it's
face
so
off being
creepy?
real
But
thing.
have you guys heard the theory about or how terrifying it is that we have developed the need for uncanny valley? What is it in our history that has caused us to be freaked out by things that are almost the same as us but not quite?
Oh, that was clearly like having sex with and or fighting like all the other like very close other
Yeah,
hominids.
yeah.
Like,
That's yeah.
yeah. But like I like to believe it's the silence or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What alien has come down and almost looked like us and freaked us out? But yeah, it's most likely
It was a bunch of aliens wearing those masks.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I refer.
All right, so
early
Team Theremin. Wait, is that the end? I guess.
I think because if I'm giving you half a point, it kind of is the end.
Over. Hey.
All right, so I have a tiebreaker
Vaccine.
that both teams are going to do.
Vaccine, and it's appropriate that vaccine wins.
Yes.
Yes,
Win.
yes,
Right,
it
right.
does.
We beat
Get
them
your
by at
vaccine.
least half a point.
All right, I have a question. I have a question for both teams. So
Okay.
Stephen, you take my place on vaccine for this one, and so
Oh.
both teams are going to give me a number. Every year, PNC Bank computes the cost of the 12 days of Christmas, buying all of the things. They call it the total Christmas price index. This year, the total Christmas price index has gone down almost 60%.
Wow.
Whoa.
Sure.
Because there are several areas of it that cannot be done COVID safely, so they're not counting them. So,
I know I priced out maids of milking and it was not.
so what is the total Christmas price index for 2020? So each team give me a number closest without going over wins.
We'll start with Theremin since that's the order.
Wait. We start with the winners.
Yeah.
I have a question for clarification purposes.
All right. One of each.
Oh, so it's
Oh,
not like
it's
12.
not the double. Yeah, the 12 gets. all
Right.
of
So
them.
it's not,
One
yeah,
more
it's not
delete.
12 is, 12, 11, 10. It's
Right.
12 swan.
11,
Yeah,
10,
that's right. Yeah.
one of
It's
each.
one
Right, okay,
round
sure.
through the song.
So wait, it's one of everything in the song? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's one round through the song. So you're not doing 12 partridges in a pear tree. You're doing one partridge in a pear tree. It's not 11, 22 turtle
We're
doves.
not doing.
It's two
We're
turtle
doing
doves.
one turtle dove.
Two turtle doves,
Two.
one partridge, two turtle doves, 3 French hens,
hens,
5
4
golden
birds.
rings.
Okay,
Five
so we are
golden
doing multiples of the multiple.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
Yeah.
only
5 golden rings,
one
period.
round of the multiples.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly
but
right.
remember
Yeah.
the song.
Oh, I see. We're not doing them multiple.
We all got it.
We're such
we're all
gamers
there.
here. We gotta make sure the rules are
Let's
set.
clarify the
I got
rules.
the
The
rules.
rules
yeah.
down.
I was
So-
just
Sickness.
So we're starting with vaccine then. Vaccine. What do you think the total Christmas price index is for 2020?
How do you price a lord?
I'll tell you
Gotta
after you
rent
guess.
out 10,
mean-
11, 12, whatever it is. Lord.
What's-
So he said drop to 60%.
Yeah,
Sleeping
I
lord.
would say anything with a human is probably considered not COVID safe. So
Mm.
we have a partridge, 2 French hens, 3 turtle doves. No,
gold rings. Would
5
be
golden rings is
5
okay.
golden rings. What is 4?
Ladies.
Calling
is-
birds.
4 calling
I'll
birds.
give him. You don't
Calling
have to.
birds. Good.
Yeah, 4 calling birds, 6 geese a laying,
Yep.
7 swans a swimming,
Yeah.
8 maids a milking,
No.
No.
9 ladies dancing,
No.
Nope.
10 lords a leaping,
No.
Nope.
11 pipers piping,
No.
Definitely
and
not.
12 drummers drumming.
No.
Nope.
The first 6 things.
7,
Or
yeah.
7 things.
7.
7 things?
65,000.
7 swans. 6
Yeah.
geese.
Okay.
How much?
65,000. I'll just start a number.
So does anyone have any idea how much these birds are?
Right?
We've got a swan in the
I
fridge
think-
ready to cook up.
I think the numbers. I think since it's no people having to be enslaved or at least rented, it's got to be a pretty low number.
Well, so but golden rings. I mean, gold is still pretty.
Oh yeah,
expensive.
okay, the golden rings,
So,
but
so you got 5 golden rings. So that's
Okay.
what, at least what, $1,500, $2,000, right?
yeah, sure, easily.
Ish. I mean,
All right,
I don't
The
know.
swans
And then
all
I don't
belong
know
to
how much
the
birds
you can't
are.
buy them.
The rest are all
10,000?
birds.
The rest are
Yeah.
birds. But
The rest are birds.
do we know anything about bird pricing?
Well,
I would like to think that you could buy any bird for less than $1,000. That's just how I live my life.
Everybody's got to have an ethos, Mark.
I mean, what's
one of my
chicken,
rules.
like $3.49 a pound, right?
Fine market dodo. Here's $1,000.
All right.
I would, because we're not supposed to go over, so I would lowball it a little bit, but
So like 10,000 for all of it?
but it doesn't matter because they're just going to say whatever we say plus
yeah,
one.
plus $1 they're gonna say.
Plus, yeah, minus $1.
Yeah. In other words, because we didn't think out the rules very well.
If we think you're high, we'll go $1. If we think you're low, we'll add $1.
Right.
Or you'll say higher and lower.
Right.
The
We
over
don't have to do any work
All
at
right.
all.
Team vaccine. What is your guess?
12,000, I'd say.
I would say 10, but
I'd
sure.
go
12.
lower. I'd
Okay.
even go lower,
I'm
but
happy.
Oh, lower.
10 is fine.
What do you think?
10's
do you
7?
I think it's like
7,000?
maximum, maybe even less. There's no people.
How many ounces
Well, but
of gold
wait.
in the golden
Yeah, but
ring?
it's 60%.
How
off.
much gold is it? Is it 14 karat or is it 24
Yeah,
karat?
yeah.
And let's, we should make a determination. You know,
But it lowered by 60%. So if it's 10,000, then that would mean that it would only be like 20,000 and a little,
No, yeah.
right? So,
Now we still have 23 birds in addition to our 5 rings, if that means anything to anybody.
take the
And,
middle.
yeah.
10,000. We kind of had that in the middle.
sure.
Yeah.
15.
All right. So I heard 10 and I heard 15.
10.
10.
10's fine.
We
All
don't
right.
want to go.
Team Theremin. Would you like to go?
$1 down or $1
Yeah,
up?
And do
10,000
a
and
dollar
one
more
or
or less,
nine,
or
nine,
would you
nine,
like to
nine,
be real people and guess an actual number?
Now wait, what I would like to know is if we're within $250, do we get all of this as a prize?
Yeah. Come on.
Good question.
Yes,
You
you,
know,
have to pay shipping.
I'm excited to announce that Ottery Farms is the official swan sponsor of the Spiel. So
Oh my God, what am I going to do with so many swans?
Right.
Just as an interlude, while we're deciding if we're going $1 up or $1 down. When next time we go to BGG Con in Dallas, everybody should go to the Dallas Arboretum and see the unbelievably extravagant and really creepy 12 Days of Christmas display.
Oh, it's super cool. It's super
It's
cool.
cool, but some of it's kind of weird.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
there definitely is a mannequin thing going on that kind of triggers your uncanny valley
there's a
stuff.
whole,
They're not. They're more like like friendly automatons than they are
What's
like
that Doctor Who episode? Blink. Kind of got a blink vibe.
Wow.
Come on, it's Texas. You know
All
it's
right,
gonna be
Theremin,
weird.
what is your guess?
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10,001.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So this year, they were able to get all of the birds. They were able to get the gold rings. They were able to COVID-friendly get 8 maids of milking at the federal minimum wage. They were not able to get 9 ladies dancing, 10 lords a leaping, 11 pipers piping, or 12 drummers drumming. The total cost of the 12 days of Christmas this year was $16,106.14. Team Vaccine, what was the most expensive item?
Gold rings.
Gold rings.
No, I was gonna
The way,
say
he,
the
the way he asks that makes me think it's not.
Yeah.
the
what,
maids of
the
milking.
ladies,
I think the
the
maids
gold
of milking. Yeah.
ladies?
Yeah, renting them,
Maids?
paying
No,
the
the-
maids and milking.
No, they were minimum
Maids
wage.
of milking.
Yeah, they're minimum wage, but how
How
how many
long do
hours
they-
are they
they milk
milking?
for
Like
12
how
days?
long does it take to milk?
Come on, less than an hour.
It
That's
depends what
true.
you're milking.
And minimum wage where?
Federal minimum wage.
So
Wait, how much-
$7.25.
How much does it cost to get a swan? Or a turtle dove? Or even a geese?
I think the swans are going to be.
Those are laying geese as well, specifically.
And they're laying golden eggs. So
All right, what is it? What is the most expensive item?
What's the highest number that we have?
It's
the maid. So it's the maids
Okay,
or
so
the
it's not
maids
the maids.
We
So
think
it's
it's
gotta
the
be what's 7?
swans.
Swans.
It's
It
got
should
to be the
be
gold rings, surely.
Yeah.
No,
Gold rings are also yeah.
Precious metals, 5 of them.
Gotta be.
It's cheap
It's-
gold.
There's no way.
Let's not talk
Rings
about
It's
aren't that
definitely
expensive.
one of the things we've named. 100%.
Let's go with the ring.
All right.
Rings.
Is it rings? Is that your guess?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The correct answer is 7 swans a swimming, which was
Oh, so close.
$13,125. Swans are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, they belong to the crown. You can't buy them.
And they taste ridiculous.
Well, everyone knows swimming swans are more expensive than the sinking ones too. So
Right.
Yeah.
But
The ones
so
at the bottom of the pond, not so much.
if
yeah.
you look up the Christmas price index, they tell you what it's been over the years. So you can see like how much it costs every year. And they like have a whole methodology for it. I love it. It's one of my favorite.
Great.
And it makes a great holiday wits and wagers question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it did.
Well, until next year.
All right. So the 3 people that listen to this won't be.
Does anyone have any other contributions before we move into recommendations? If anyone has things they want to contribute to the party here, this is
Yeah.
the time to do it.
I have some art.
Oh, yay.
Hey, oh, nice. Let's see the shared screen here.
No. Oh, are you going to show it?
Well, I've got the 4.
Okay, yeah, just show that.
Those 4?
Yeah, just show those 4.
All right. She sent me 4 different pictures, so I'm just, let's see.
I want to see your 12 days of Christmas, Debbie.
Or I can just show them.
Drawn swans.
I'll just show them one at a time.
Okay, all right.
Here we go.
Well, it's this year. It's 8 days of Christmas, right?
That's right.
Number 1.
Nice.
Very nice.
Go.
Outstanding.
Love it.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
I'm gonna put one of the little
Nice.
notepads on it.
See, hang on. Let's try. How about this one here? Oh.
Ah.
Is that big enough? Do I need
Nice.
to zoom it up? Or?
That's awesome.
missing the scratch on his nose.
I was
though.
going to say,
Right.
that's
Christmas
good.
nose.
Yeah.
Scratch on
There.
his nose.
I'm just curious. Does that come up full screen for you guys, or?
Yeah.
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 Full enough.
Okay.
There,
I
that's
don't
full.
need it. I don't
I
need to.
love
slide.
it.
Okay. Doo-doo-doo.
I love you, Debbie.
I love you too.
There we go.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
You have to do everybody now. You got it.
Now I know the caricatures.
I know.
And
This is the longest I've ever seen Buonocore not wear red.
almost clicked the- There we go.
Nice.
Yay, all
captured.
right.
Is
Here's your
Lucio
prize
not?
for getting coming in
That's all
first.
I had time for.
Nice.
You have to put the crown on top.
Looks great, Debbie.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Had to count. All right.
Well
That
done.
looks great. Thanks, Debbie.
Nice.
is
Thank
awesome.
you, Debbie. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, let's move into the final phase of the party here, and this is recommendations. This is the way we always kind of wind the show down. Thanks, everybody, for spending your afternoon, evening, morning with us. It's always one of the highlights of the year to just goof around, and the year has been really tough. And it's the weirdest thing, Francie and I were talking about this, is that this is the most normal thing that's probably happened because we're normally used to getting together with people all over the globe remotely at this party. So in a weird way, there's this sense of normalcy that has kind of returned to the Spieliverse here at the end of this just terrible stretch of time. And it's great to be able to spend time with loved ones and friends far and wide. And thanks so much for taking time out to do that. But before I get all weepy here on you,
Stephen, I'm sorry, but I thank you very much for that.
Sure.
That was really beautiful. I do have to leave. I have a 6 p.m. Eastern time cutoff because I have to go and do something. Thank you again. Thank you so much for inviting me. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody out there. I'm so happy that to see all you guys, and I hope in this coming year, in person, I will see every one of you.
Right.
I believe that Essen is happening this year, my European friends. And I believe Gen Con is going to happen this year. I'm an eternal optimist. So
Cross fingers, big
yes, cross your fingers. So I love you all. I really do. Take care.
Happy holidays, Buonocore.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So
Let's talk crap about him.
yeah, he's gone.
Who is that guy?
Stephen, I don't know if you want to go to our sponsor for this podcast, or if you want to delay that till after everyone has made their recommendations.
You can do it now, sure.
Well, okay, I didn't want to leave them out.
No, that's fine.
Paid good money for this.
You know, this was a tough year, and it was hard to find any kind of sponsor at all. But I finally dug one up. Now, I couldn't get cash out of them, but I could get store credit. And since it's closer to you than it is to me or Mark, I'll let you guys credit that. So, as you know, 2020 has been tough on us all. Retailers especially have been hard hit by the current situation. Gus's Board Games in Beardstown, Illinois, has been especially impacted. Gus had just expanded his little store by installing 6 beer taps, and he was planning on offering players a refreshing craft beer on game nights when the shutdown happened. Life, of course, for all of us changed in so many ways. Well, Gus noticed the effect this has had, and he has scrambled to augment his retail sales. So Gus's Board Games and Beers is now Gus's Boards, Beers, and Beers. Excuse me, and Beards.
Bad.
You're welcome. Yes, the lack of social gathering has meant that many have taken up the exciting hobby of beard growing, and Gus is prepared to meet their needs. Your beard needs attention, and Gus is here to see you at your best. Gus now offers blades and balms, in addition to bourbon barrel-aged barley wines and board game classics such as Battlestar Galactica and Bunny Kingdom. And ladies, don't you think that Gus has forgotten you? Gus believes everyone has the right to get in on the fun. He can fit you in your own beard just in time for the holiday season. These beard wigs, as Gus calls them, are multifaceted and attractive for all. Remember the name, Gus's. formerly Barney's. Boards, beards, and beers. Conveniently located in downtown Beardstown, right on the Illinois River, just south of Bath and Browning. Stephen, there's a credit there for you, should you care to drop in.
Or
Ooh.
Francie.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Of
Yeah,
course.
I'm already outfitted, so I think Francie's the one who needs the beard.
You know,
clearly.
I work
True
hard
story,
to have a beard.
we have in Alameda, we have one independent video store, and it's still somehow surviving. And that store you walk by and they advertise everything but videos. They sell CBD, they sell wigs. It's a little bit like that Gus's place.
Love it.
That's crazy.
It's now known as Gus's, formerly Barney's, simply because Gus thought that was a sexier kind of name.
That purple dinosaur ruined everything.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah.
So, well, let's unless anyone else has contributions here, we'll move on to recommendations. So we end the show and the holiday program by kind of looking back at things that you love that other people might love too. Can be sky's the limit in terms of what kind of thing you might have that you love that you think other people might want to love too. Try to limit it to maybe one or two things a piece. Francie's going to be taking notes, so I can include all these things in the show notes, of course, so you can have links through and find out about them. Christoph, we haven't heard from you in a while. Why don't we go to Christoph?
Ooh, got me on the spot there. If there's something on the book segment, there was a book I've read this year, which is from Jeff Engelstein, known by some of you, and most of you might have read it already. It was new here in Belgium as well. Game Tech, a book which features the mathematics and psychology behind games. So for those who haven't read yet and like to read a good book on how games work, it's highly recommended. Interesting read, fun book. Always pick something up there. And then to share one of the other hobbies of mine, as far as cooking goes, I would highly recommend the Weber Smoke Fire. It's a pellet smoker, which is a new thing in Europe. It is. I think it's more common in the States. Very good thing. Smoking is starting to take off here in Europe, and this thing, full pellet grill, automated. Yeah, this is what we were looking for in the barbecue world. So I think I had a lot of fun with this year. So and apart from that, I would recommend things I did with friends, but well, that was pretty limited. Trips I made, limited as well. So
any
not a lot to recommend there.
Any game recommendations in terms of things you might have played this year or things like that? We'll throw
even that was limited.
Yeah,
even
I know.
that was limited. We played mostly on Board Game Arena. So if people want to look for me there, I'm always up for a game. But even there, I must say that most of the things we played there were old games we picked up again. We did play a lot of The Crew, I must say. We talked about it earlier on the show as well. A game I thought, okay, this is just stupid little card game. But once you start diving into it, it's just one other round. So yeah, highly recommend it. If you haven't played it and you like card games, really give it a try.
We have reviewed it on the show. I'll include links to our review.
Indeed.
Thank you for staying up late with us, Christoph. It's always great to see you.
Yep, thanks. Same for you guys.
Who wants to go next?
I have a short list.
Okay.
So early in the year, this is actually before the pandemic really took hold of the world. My wife and I had we would sit down after the kids had went to bed, and we got into a video game called Return of the Obra Dinn. And it's a game by Lucas Pope. He did a game called Papers, Please. I haven't actually played that one, but I knew it was kind of a kitschy, popular little game. But Return of the Obra Dinn, it explores the exciting world of being an insurance adjuster back in 1807 for the East India Company. A ship shows up, just kind of, or it shows back up, and everyone on board is dead, and you are tasked with determining who they were and what happened to them. So it's kind of a deductive game, but the narrative of the game is a mechanism in the game. So you have to sort of explore the story to be able to explore more of the story. Yeah, oh man, it was just the funnest thing in the world. Like, we would be talking about it over dinner, like, oh man, so that guy, so he was in this room with this other guy, and that guy died. So did he die from the same reason? Oh, it was just great. Oh man, and like the story, it turns out to be like a really interesting one. And the
Do you
game's
want
got
to tell him, like, it's a fantastic game? Do you want to tell him the main mechanic? Because I think the main mechanic is so cool.
Well, the you're talking about the stopwatch?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so whenever you discover a new body, what happens is you see the last moment of that person's life. Now, moment is kind of a loose term, but essentially you can hear audio, a conversation, or whatever that's happening around that person's last few minutes of life. And it sounds really macabre, and it kind of is, but it's often really humorous. But yeah, so the stopwatch will just sort of zoom you in on this last person's moment of life, and you can sort of, like, the very first one that you see, you can see the bullet leave a gun, and you're watching the trajectory of that bullet, and then you can sort of like trace that back to see who killed this person and that kind of thing. But man, that game was just, oh man, it gave us so many hours of good conversation, and the game itself is really fun. And yeah, it came out in 2018, so we're a little late to the party, but you can play it. We played it through Steam, but you can also play it on the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Mac. It's also available on the Mac. So yeah, that was our favorite thing.
Awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah, that game was great. Oh man, that game was so much fun. So anyway, that was my short list.
Who's next? Anyone jump in here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Debbie.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to recommend two things. One is if you're still looking for presents last minute, and you want to help support indie bookstores, I recommend bookshop.org. It's only in the US, but you can, even if you can't, it's too late to order now, but you can get coupons, like gift certificates. So support indie bookstores. And the other thing is, my husband got me an early holiday gift, which is an Oculus Quest 2. I'm totally addicted now. And I highly recommend the Wander app, just because it's, I'm not big on first-person shooters, I get motion sickness really easily. But because of the Wander app, I was able to see different places with friends virtually. You could chat as you pick different places.
Think of Wander as Google Street View in
3D. And my father is in lockdown at senior home, but he doesn't own one, obviously. But I was able to cast to a web browser during Zoom, and he could see what I was seeing. And we went to Japan, and I was on the street. Okay, you want to turn left or right? So that way we were able to go traveling together and chat while we're doing it. So those are my two recommendations.
How cool
Debbie,
is that?
what books should they get there?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yes, my
book
newest book is called that. Thank you. My newest book came out this year during the pandemic, and it's called Gerpel and Preen, A Broken Crayon Cosmic Adventure, written by Linda. See, I should have had one here. Written by Linda Sue Park and illustrated by me, published by Simon Schuster. And I'm a terrible marketer, and I'm talking slowly in case Jeff can happen to that. How can I have not done that? Thank you so much.
Jeff.
Where's
We just happen to have one here. Gerpel and Preen, Broken Crayon Cosmic Adventure. But thank you for asking.
I don't want to give you a negative review, but I found it very childish.
It was no celery avoidance club or whatever that was. I'll go next, Stephen.
Wait.
Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Okay. I recommend the 3 Long Way series by Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman. I don't know if anybody's heard of these, but
Yeah.
we just came across it at random because Apple put Long Way Up, which is the new one, online earlier this year. Essentially, it's the first one was Long Way Round, where they traveled from London to New York, around the world on motorcycles. Essentially, they did have to fly here and there. And it's we're not particularly into motorcycles and motorcycle trips, but Long Way Up is from the south tip of South America to Los Angeles, and Long Way Down is from the John O'Groats in Scotland to Cape Town, South Africa. And it's really it's great travelogue and adventure kind of stuff, but more than that, the two of them are just really
charming,
lovely,
charming together.
Interesting, nice, positive people, and it was a very good feels kind of thing to watch. Long Way Up is the new one. It's electric motorcycles, kind of interesting. It was filmed in 2019. Long Way Round was the original, I think it was 2004-ish.
Yeah,
and Long Way Down was a couple of years at 2007 or something like that. They're all on Apple TV.
We can all use some feel good
Yeah.
viewing these days.
It's just nice,
uplifting,
nice people visiting remote, interesting places.
I've seen those on my queue, and I've wondered about those. So they're going up on my list now for sure.
Yeah, really fun. That's it.
Mark Wilder.
Hi, how is everyone? I have 3 quick suggestions. First and most obvious is, of course, the League for the Suppression of Celery.
You're welcome.
Downloaded to my Kindle and will be enjoying very soon.
Even I think that's the cover art.
Callback. Yeah, that's
the 2 serious things. One of the things that helped me most during this quarantine, because I got very, very depressed at the beginning of it, is I was taking an improv class when all hell broke loose, and I started going to online virtual improv shows run by Comedy Sports Chicago. They now have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/CSZN Chicago. And they do 2 shows on Fridays, 2 shows on Saturdays, and some special shows throughout. And they're hilarious. And it's just, well, it's not just like going to see them live and in person, but it's very well done, very high production values now. And it's, if you've never seen a comedy sports show, it's 2 teams playing comedy games or improv games against each other. And it's brilliant. So I'll be going to that in about 2 hours. And the other one is a Netflix comedy special, a 4-part comedy special on Netflix by one of my favorite comedians, probably my favorite comedian, James Acaster, who's a British comedian.
Yeah.
I see Darrell shaking his head.
Yes.
He's absolutely brilliant. The 4-part series is it kind of all ties into one another, and yeah, he's absurd and brilliant and hilarious, and can't recommend it enough. James,
very deadpan.
Say that again.
That he's very deadpan.
Yes, very deadpan, but still very funny. His name is James Acaster, and the special is called Repertoire.
How do you spell Acaster?
Acaster.
Yeah.
Like a wizard.
Wang. It's all.
Is that where he's from?
No, he's from Kettering in Rose of the Shire or something. I don't know. I've watched so much of him that I know a lot of details about him now.
Kettering's Worcestershire, I think. It's up the country a bit from us, but not too much. Yeah.
I love all sorts of British panel shows that I watch on YouTube, like 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, and Would I Lie to You, and QI, and all those great British shows.
And the answer is yes, you would.
Yes, I would lie to you, but not about that. Are we doing plugs now, Stephen?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Another thing that I do as a side hustle is I make trading cards for pets. like these. So I make mostly they've been dogs, although I do have one squirrel here on my
Squirrel!
Hey, hold on, Rachel, come look at this.
Squirrel!
Yeah.
Mark,
Tilt it back a little. There you go.
towards the animals.
The lights getting.
Jinx the squirrel.
I'll be sending you our cats soon, Mark.
Okay, well, go to wilderpix.com. That's WILDERPIX.com. And there is a discount code I just created called Spiel Party that'll save you $15.
There you go.
Yes.
I'm in. Spiel Party, all one word.
Send me a couple of those pictures in email, Mark, and I'll put them in the show notes.
Put
I have
them back,
a lot of fun.
put them back up in front of your face.
Fantastic.
Are you saying you'd rather see these than my face?
Yes, thank you.
Aw.
And Roscoe is Mark's dog, and Roscoe is like a social media maven.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is totally.
Oh.
He's like king of the slobber hunt.
Nice.
So where has Roscoe been during the past 3 hours or
He
so?
popped in here real briefly once, but he's lower than the camera, so you didn't see him. And he's been sleeping the rest of the time.
And why didn't you pick him up and like boot him in front of your face?
Yeah,
Or move the camera?
You think this cat thing is bad? Put Roscoe on my lip. I could have moved the camera, but
Okay.
sorry.
Roscoe's shy. It's one
I
of
will
his-
give Stephen a picture of Roscoe to put in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Or follow him on Facebook, Roscoe the Bloodhound.
Yes.
I created him his own page.
He's a good follow.
All right, he actually just he won a trophy this week.
Hey.
Oh.
Celebration.
Yes.
Celebration.
Yes, he is more well decorated than me. Better at things than me.
Yeah, you know.
That's what I got.
That's what we want for all of our children, Mark. That they live a better life than we do.
True. That's
How
true.
about Katherine?
I have a few things. We haven't really done much traveling this year, though we have managed to sneak out of the country. But last year, before Christmas, we headed to London for a Tim Minchin show.
Nice.
While there, we also got a chance to visit Dell and them in Reading and see their shop. And we got to see this was a recommendation a while ago. We got to see Come From Away, the musical, which was awesome. Loved it.
That was our recommendation.
Yeah, I know.
Because when we were at Essen and then you gave us the ride to Cologne, it was like, oh, Come From Away. And you were like, yeah. Okay. And played that music all the way to Cologne. And I was
fantastic.
like, oh, if Patty was here, she would just be all over you, just telling you how much she loves that show.
Is that the Newfoundland?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing. But the reason I mentioned Tim Minchin is because he made a TV series that was fantastic that we watched this past year called Upright, which I highly recommend. He is a great performer, and the TV series that he made is really heartfelt. It's got some good music in there, really good writing, and it's definitely worth checking out. Highly recommend it. It's basically about a guy transporting an upright piano across the desert in Australia. That's kind of
Another one. Oh,
right.
You're so into genre TV.
We've been playing some old games as well. We dragged out Le Havre and played that for the first time in a long time.
Still great.
And Innovation as well. Those are two of our favorite games from a long time. We've been playing also Journeys Through Middle Earth, so we've been enjoying that, just the two of us during COVID. So that's kind of what we've been filling our time with. And if you want a heartfelt Christmas series to watch, I don't know if you have access to this in the States, but it's on Netflix, and it's called Home for Christmas in English, I think. Hjem til jul is the name. It's a Norwegian Christmas series. It's very heartfelt and lovely, and I recommend it as like a feel-good kind of a Christmas show.
Okay.
Yeah. I also reread the Graveyard book by Neil Gaiman, which was
very
a
good.
really good one.
So good.
Love it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No.
Who wants to go next? Lucio.
I will say Home for Christmas is on Netflix here in the U.S.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
So, despite being home a lot, it's been the busiest freaking year for me. But we did manage to get Spirits of the Forest to the table a couple times, which who is it? Michael Schott and Natalie Dumboy, who I don't know. Beautiful game. Like, this is the sleeve, and like the pieces are like screen printed. It's just gorgeous. They're upside down. Also, they could just be tiles, but they're these lovely. Everything is wood in the game. Everything is beautiful. So that was a nice one. It plays in about 20 minutes. A little set collection game.
I enjoy that one.
Nice Foley work there. That was good.
Oh. It was all I was just doing with my tongue. They're actually foam. Woodworking. I like it's one of the things that I've been doing kind of all year. Besides when you're home a lot, your honeydew list gets really long. But I've been like squeezing some things in. So I've been turning some pens recently. This is some spalted hair.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and also if you do happen to get if you do have a VR system of some sort, I'm partway through A Fisherman's Tale, which is it's a puzzle game. It's telling a story about this fisherman who is making a model of his house, and then he wakes up, and the way the game works is you are the fisherman, and you're also controlling, like, you can look into your model, which is a model of your house and yourself, and you can interact with that model. And also, if you look out your window, there's a giant version of you outside. So just this like recursive. It's very interesting.
I want to get it.
What's it?
Which platform is it?
I've seen it on Steam. Looks like it's on PSVR, Oculus Quest.
That's on the Oculus.
It's on the Oculus. What was the name?
A Fisherman's Tale. I mean, for instance, one of the things is like your door is jammed by a giant anchor that you can't pick up. But of course, if you go over to your model, it's a tiny little anchor like this, and you just reach in there and pull it out, and a giant hand reaches into your house and pulls this anchor out of your way.
That's great.
It's very interesting.
Very disorienting, but very cool.
Gulliver and the Lilliputians all at once.
Yeah. Who's next?
I'll go.
Oh, sorry. Anyone, Lucio, do you have anything you want to plug? I happen to know, Mr. Writer. Do you have any?
Oh, I do actually today. I totally forgot. At around 7:30 today, shadesandshadows.org. It's a genre, mostly horror, but not always horror, reading series a friend of mine throws here in LA. In LA, I'm not in LA, I'm near. And today they're doing all Christmas ghost stories, but I mean, mine will be goofy. Mine's around 7:30 is when mine will be. You should go to shadesandshadows.org. It starts at 5, but it's going to go for like 4 hours.
The time zone? What time zone?
Oh, sorry, Pacific time zone. Don't forget we're half an hour ahead of. No, I'm just kidding. That's.
Thank you. Sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just knew that. If anyone, feel free to plug anything that you want, and I'll try to remember to poke you if you didn't.
That's fine. I mean, I guess I could plug landing at any airport in the in bad weather in the Midwest or down here or down in the Southwest, and you're welcome, because I probably built at least one facility down there for it. For those of you who don't know, I'm an engineer where I work for the FAA, and I do navigational aids and landings. So what I'm plugging is something that everybody uses all the time without knowing it. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you very much.
I've been on those flights. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But so my big recent recommendation is Suzie and I watched a series on HBO called How To with John Wilson. That is fantastic because it's not like most other TV shows. He's a documentarian who basically is just a guy who walks around with a camera, talking to people and filming everything he sees. and he constructs narratives over like 6 episodes. And How To is interesting. It's unpredictable. It's got all kinds of weird, weird twists. It never really goes where you think it's going to go, which is great. And it in the end, it's kind of uplifting. It's definitely worth the time. I don't want to say any more because, all I can say is he gets the most bonkers footage of weirdos in New York that you'll ever see. It's amazing. Suzie and I also played. We bought a bunch of games. I think in February-ish, planning to get them to the table and play with our friends. And so of course the pandemic hit, and so we were well, what are the 2-player games that we can still play? And like most other people, we got a copy of Watergate and played it. And if you haven't played Watergate, I totally recommend it. It's definitely worth the time. It's pretty quick, and it has a pretty complete feel, to the game. I don't know how to describe the main mechanic because it's been a little bit since we played it, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I had another thing I forgot. Yeah,
those are great. Thank you. Who's next? Anyone?
Sure, I'll go.
Suzie, ladies first.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
ladies first.
You sure? Okay. All right. So I'll try to be quick. So it's old school, and you guys probably played as children, but Mad Libs actually works great over Zoom or any other Zoom-like thing. Really fun. Everybody can contribute words pretty easily. The other fun game that works really well on Zoom is Bring Your Own Book. Most of our friends have a book, and so that works pretty well. And the other thing I'll say is really fun and silly over Zoom are these thumbs up pins.
That's great.
Yeah, these are fun. And I would definitely tell you guys, try not to be too isolated out there. I know that's really easier said than done, but meet up on Zoom. It can be fun. You can see people. It is almost like socialization. So, reach out. Don't be isolated. People care about you and want to hang out, want to see you. So,
amen.
Nice, Gubbins.
Doug?
I do have one. The Game of Thrones. Hand of the King.
I want that not to be a card game.
It's a game for 2 to 4 players from Bruno Catala. If you're in America, if you're near a Marshall's, this is $5.
Nice.
Great little game.
Yeah, it's a really clever little game that plays really well. You're just trying to dominate a little grid. It plays, I think you can play very well on Zoom.
Darrell, you're suddenly a lot more handsome.
Yeah.
What happened?
I did not.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I feel it must be near feeding time. But, Loki sends his regards. I was going to make a recommendation of cats. They're one of the things that kept me sane, but in hindsight, maybe not. Just being a dick.
And if you
have a gash on your face.
Yeah, if you have cats, you get a lot of hindsight too. I'll tell you that.
Yes, you do.
That too, yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, but at least you know how to sharpen pencils.
So, Darrell, do you have any recommendations?
To be honest, probably not. I would recommend 2021.
Yes.
12 months from now, we might be having a conversation, and I hope it turns out okay.
Cats, certainly. Keeping in touch with your friends and relatives and things. Alcohol, that's a good one.
We didn't hear about the beverage you consumed.
Yeah. How was
well, a glass has been emptied at least 3 times. Yes, it's very good.
I know. Yes.
Yes, I highly recommended the Auchentoshan it's a single malt. It's a lowland Scotch. This one is very nice. So this one I think was Heathrow where I picked it up. But yeah, in Blood Oak, very, very tasty. Thank you very much.
That's a bit of what we wanted. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I've read very little this year. Just have not been enthused to do so. One of the things I did find that was really bear with this. Okay, I actually know where this one is.
Nice. Okay,
And
I would
off
also
he
like
goes.
to recommend what?
Go ahead.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah. So I find this one really quite entertaining to read, which is The Monsters Know What They're Doing, which is an expanded version
Very
of
cool.
Keith's blog one, which is essentially a deep dive into how to DM monsters interestingly by assuming that they're not just a stat block to kill. He has done a follow-up book, which is the player character one, Live to Tell the Tale. If you've been playing for long enough, this is not, but it's how to work as a party, and you probably know all this stuff. It was an interesting read, but I did enjoy the original one. In terms of stuff I've watched, Occupied, also on Netflix. Katherine may well relate to that one. I'm not sure. I really like that one. It presupposes a Norway that's been invaded by Russia because they've decided to pursue a green energy agenda. It's really interesting series. Like that one a lot. Other than that, I think everything I've seen has either been I'm like 10, 20 years late to a show, or it's stuff that everybody's already watching. So no real recommendations on that one. But I have enjoyed Occupied. Looking forward to the 6th season of Line of Duty when that drops. I'm expecting that. I was thinking it might be December, but it's probably going to be early next year when that one shows. But the previous 5 are all very good.
Tell people where your shop is and website address.
Right, we're Eclectic Games, a bricks and mortar board game store in Reading in the UK. That's 40 miles west of London and straight up from Southampton if you want to sort of see where the lines go. We do board and card games. Eclecticgames.co.uk. Only had one call today asking for a PS5, which is not too bad.
A comfortable walk from the train station.
Well, we're in the centre of town, 5 minutes from the train station. Less than 30 seconds. An extremely good cheese and beer store. So yes, come and visit. They will greatly think. They are threatened. They've taken over and are planning on an upstairs tasting bar, which we'll be working with them for some events with. That's sort of like their early New Year plans. And when the summer gets, they have a street license, and telling me that they're going to be doing decent coffee and hot food as well, which means that my lunch sorted. I just tell they also do a very nice range of gin. I've told them that they dare not stop whiskey, or I just won't leave. So I will plug the Grumpy Goat. They're great neighbours. Really pleased to have them where we are, because it breaks up from all the bloody mobile phone shops that are just in the
Hey, Darrell. How long has Eclectic Games been open in Reading?
In Reading, we've only got the one. We've been open 14 years. How long has Spiel been going, Stephen?
Well, this was the end of season 15, so we've been doing this 16 years-ish around that.
I think we opened about the same time you started doing things. It'll be 15 years come March, I think. But we founded the business, I guess, 15 years ago. Yeah, it was 05 when we started. And actually opened the 10th of March. 15 years. I feel that we are not going to have a sensible 15-year anniversary party shindig like we did for our 10th, when we had Matt and Zev and Ignacy over, and it was great, like mini convention for 50 or so people. But as and when it's safe and suitable to do so, we'll see what we can do, and retroactively for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Darrell.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wait, and will you ship anywhere in the UK?
Yeah, absolutely.
Send, because I have friends over there, so you
and
send to them
in Curry Mallet.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, encourage Alex.
we're not a vast, deep discounter. We don't have the great shipping rates that they do, but we do have a flat rate for up to 10 kilos for next day, which is $7.50. I guess what's that, about $3 these days. No, probably not quite that. But yeah, it's reasonable track, 24-hour delivery window. The couriers are pretty solid. They're still shipping. If it's in by the end of Monday, we'll get it out for Christmas. But that's about right. Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, yes, we're doing. If you see it on the website, it's live within about 5 minutes of what's actually in store. So if it's there, you'll see it, and someone will pick it.
Let's go to Jeremy in Tasmania. We haven't heard from Jeremy in a while.
No, the talk previously about the British shows that you can find on YouTube reminded me there's a game that we love here, which is called Richard Hosman's House of Games.
Oh yes, yeah, Richard Hosman's great.
Which is lots of games like the ones we've been playing today. In fact, there's a game where they have to. It's basically 4 celebrities playing over 5 days, and they play like 5 different games every show. And yeah, one of the games is change. Here's a topic, and change one letter in the answer to give the answer. So yeah, highly recommend House of Games if you're into little games like that. But my recommendations today, I was reminded the other day, driving the kids around a lot recently, and they love listening to music in the cars. They're always pestering to listen to music, so we've been listening to a lot of Christmas music over the last little while. So I thought I would give you my 5 favorite Christmas songs, which you might know. And I'll do it in order. Here we go. I'll do it in a kind of DJ. Here we go. At number 5, Stop the Cavalry by Jonah Louie. Number 4, from the Doctor Who Christmas special in 2007, Voyage of the Damned, it's The Stowaway. Number 3, staying with a science fiction theme, Chiron Beta Prime by Jonathan Coulton. Number 2, harking back to Catherine's one from earlier on, it's Tim Minchin's White Wine in the Sun. And my all-time favorite, Christa Berg from 1975, it's A Spaceman Came Traveling, which is a song about the star over the baby Jesus being a spaceship.
White Wine in the Sun is a fabulous tune. That's a great song.
I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah, it's really, really great. It's really sentimental and sweet. And
yep.
Most of the stuff he does is very funny, but that is just very sweet. And,
yep.
And you have to remember that Australia has their Christmas in the summer. That's why the fun is there.
White wine. And sun.
Yes. Those are great. I will include links in the show notes to all those, of course, and I look forward to. It's self-serving, right? Because I get this great list for myself too. So I got a lot of listening and reading and watching to do too. I don't want to leave anyone out. James, have we heard from James?
Sure. No. I'm here. So we're talking about books. One of the books that I've been enjoying is maybe a little bit strong, from MIT Press, is Fun Taste in Games by John Sharp and David Thomas. The subtitle, An Aesthetics of the Idle, Unproductive, and Otherwise Playful. And so it's a great way to think about fun as part of games, and how we think about fun play games. It's a deep dive, but really fantastic. So we've talked a little bit about some role-playing games, and I've been able to play. I got back into D&D, doing 5th edition, because I'm back into a place where I grew up. So I lived junior high school about 45 minutes north of here, where I am in Greenville, South Carolina, and I've been gone for, oh Lord, a very long time. 35-ish years, and so back, and my friends are still here. A lot of them didn't leave, and so when I landed, they got back in touch, and there have been a couple of gamers, and so it's been interesting to connect a lot of times virtually, and playing D&D online, doing D&D Beyond and Roll20, and the way that those two come together. And there's a module that was, as we used to call them, that has been fairly recent, called A Christmas Carol, which is envisioning a D&D adventure for Dickens's setting of A Christmas Carol. And so that was I was a little, I don't know how this is going to go, but it was a really fun time and a really nice sort of, for the season, it felt really, really good to do, and a lot of fun to play. Because I've just moved here within the last year. My partner, Laura, has not been a big game player. And so was like, I don't know, games are your thing, they're not mine. We started playing a couple, and then we hit on Wingspan. And so, playing a lot of Wingspan, and it's a fantastic 2-player game. We played, 20 games of it, and she's like, are there other things? So we have the European expansion. As soon as Oceania, like there's going to be an Oceania expansion, she was just hovering over the keyboard, waiting for when that was going to be on pre-sale. So we've been enjoying, and it's, as all y'all know, it's a pretty straightforward little game, but it's a lot of fun, and it plays really well with 2 players. And it's been a great way for us to sort of stay together over the table and find other things to talk about that is just stuff that we're doing together and not just work or whatever else. And which is, I think, one of the great things that games do.
Yep.
Can we plug other podcasts?
Sure. Yeah. Plug whatever you
So
need to.
people have been talking a lot about improv comedy and some comedy shows. And if y'all haven't discovered This Game Is Broken, yeah, you should go check those guys out. It's a really fun, lots of similar to some of the games we played tonight as well, but just a lot of fun. Great to listen to comedians doing some fun geeky stuff with our community and sort of talking about and some of the same sort of things that we were doing this evening. And it's just and it's great to hear comedians who are really good with their timing, very witty guys and women, just going crazy with it. So that's been a lot of fun too over the last several months.
Excellent choice. That's great fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ezra, have you gone?
Oh, sure. So I actually have a kind of a tech plug here.
Okay.
And that is, I am in love with everything that the company Rocketbook does. Rocketbook makes notebooks that are reusable. So these pages are plastic, and there's a little QR code at the bottom of each one. And
Hold it back a little because it's getting glary. There you go.
Can scan the QR code, and it'll upload an image to your Google Drive, and you can save them wherever you want. And then you just take a sponge and you wipe it off, and you can write right back on it. And the fascinating thing is that you use a specific pin, but it's not a special pin. This is just a Faber-Castell blue pin. So it's not like, you have to buy a $50 pin. And the really neat thing is I use these for my to-do lists at work and things like that. But they also have, we'll get to GMing in a minute, but they have index cards that are so good for running a role-playing game, for passing notes, for that sort of thing. Erasable index cards are just a godsend for running a game. They also have a sketchbook. They have tons of different kinds of things. I'm a big fan of all of their products, and it's great for it's semi-environmental. You're taking some amount of plastic to replace a lot of paper. I'm on my probably second run through this notebook of having stuff in it, and I really like the way they do. I'll admit the character recognition, if you try and upload it to a Google Doc, is sometimes not great, but if you just upload the straight image of what you're doing, it's fantastic. So Rocketbook, and they're I feel like they should be more expensive somehow, but I kind of I'm like the insane clown posse about magnets about this. I'm just like, how does it work? We'll never know. It's magic.
How does it feel to write on it?
It feels great. It's like, I can't say enough about the fact that I'm using a normal pen, because often when I'm writing on things, if I'm using like proprietary like styluses or something like that, it just doesn't work for me. And so it feels perfectly, great for writing. And there's a weird freedom to knowing that you can write something and then just wipe it away and, have the blank sheet in front of you again. And, you're not like, I get a weird thing where if I'm getting towards the end of a notebook, it's like anxiety for me. I'm like, I don't want to fill in that last page of like a notebook that I like. And this totally gets rid of that.
Does the ink smudge at all? Because since you're kind of able to wipe it off, or does that?
Not a bit. Let me see if I can.
Okay, cool.
What kind of sponge do you use to get it off? Is it a special sponge?
No, it's just you can use any cloth will do it. You just have to, you just get it wet and it comes right off. And like I said, I can also use this pen on any other paper. So it's not like a proprietary pen or anything like that. And the pens are super cheap. You can get them on Amazon or at your favorite office store for a very nice amount. We actually got for Christmas, one of my, let me see, my sister-in-law's best friend, she's an artist. And so we got her the sketchbook one. And so and like 5 different colors of pins. One thing that I don't know about, because this will say something about my art, there's not a lot of different sizes of the pins that you can use. Like you can't go to like a wider gauge, for lack of a better word, of pin. But I'm a huge fan. Also, much like Jeremy, I love Christmas music. I'm a Jew that loves Christmas. And I had a few little recommendations that I make every year. First of all, the best Christmas song ever made is terrifying. And it is Annie Lennox's version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. It turns the song into a dirge and is fantastic. It is, the video is creepy as everything Annie Lennox, and wonderful as everything Annie Lennox does. Yeah, it's probably my favorite Christmas song ever made. It's so good. That, of course, and Bob and Doug McKenzie's 12 Days of Christmas.
Take off, eh?
I will not have a word said against. And then, so this year, like as we've been home, I have been doing a lot of running role-playing games on stream. I've been and at home, and Zoom is actually really great for that, and running them online, and Twitch. We've been running. My friends started a channel, Quests and Chaos, and I just finished like 2 weeks ago one of the all-time great campaigns, Masks of Nyarlathotep, a globe-spanning Cthulhu game that I have run 4 times and I'd never finished before this, so it was very exciting. And as I was playing, I was getting to know more people in the RPG world, and I was talking with people about game mastering and about running games. And so last week, I launched a podcast about being a game master, talking with other GMs about how, table management, prep, how do you run a game, that sort of thing. And I've already recorded a couple of them. I'm bugging Steven to get in there and talk about running some Cthulhu at some point. And that is Keep the Game Moving. You can find it on YouTube. So check out my little podcast, everybody.
That's awesome. Welcome to the club. Not that you weren't already there doing Quests and Chaos, but this feels like it's your baby completely instead of being, part of a bigger network. So congratulations.
I'd also like to recommend, if you like board games, there's a podcast called The Dice Tower.
Here's the mute. I muted him. You broke up there. I don't know what happened.
Thanks for that recommendation.
Thank you, Ezra. So let's see. We have Alan Chen, and we'll round out with Francie. I haven't forgotten you, Francie. We'll bring you home. We'll bring it home with Francie. But we'll go to Alan Chen first here.
Saving the best for last.
Yeah.
I forgot Gubbins.
Oh, Gubbins too. Sorry.
Oh,
Gubbins.
no. I was going to interrupt so that Francie was still last.
I don't have a podcast, but I do have a couple of things to share. So one is Your Name. We like Miyazaki's anime, and this is kind of reminiscent of that. It's about a boy in a big city and a girl in a rural area. It's beautiful art with wonderful story to it. It starts out with they're switching bodies, so they wake up in each other's bodies. So the boy wakes up kind of fondling his newfound breasts, and I don't want to say too much about it, but it's a wonderful story. We really liked it.
Repeat the title again, so people.
Your Name.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's both a manga and an anime. It's fantastic.
Oh, you're right. Yes, it is. I have not read the manga. And the other is food recommendation. There's a lot of talk about food, but not really food recommendation. One that's I was born in Taiwan, and I recently found this website that sells a bunch of food that reminds me of childhood. So it was really awesome. If you like beef jerkies, there are different kind of tastes of beef jerkies and pork jerkies, and if you like boba tea, that's a kind of a cultural export from Taiwan. So there's bubble tea flavored pineapple cakes on this website. That's htyusa.com.
I got a very delicious package for my birthday from a certain very tasty. I will second that. Let's see, Gubbins. Sorry to.
No. I think I only have one thing, and it's a game that I haven't been able to play. I think Stephen and Francie know exactly what it is. It's Pandemic Season Legacy Season 0. I'm very much looking forward to playing. Haven't been able to. So that's my recommendation for a game I haven't played.
We've been conspiring with our camera system here, because even though Gubbins is here in Indianapolis, to figure out a way to play remotely, and I think we've almost cracked it. I think we have a system that will allow us to play very soon. I hope. I still have to do a few tests, but we tried last week and it failed miserably, and said, okay, I need time to sort out the cameras still, but I think it's doable. It's not going to be the same, of course, but it's going to be doable.
So that's it. That's all I had.
Francie, bring us home
Okay.
here.
Well, I have been reading a ton this year, both, to use Mark's term, ear reading and eye reading.
I say consuming.
Yes, but any of those would work. Yes. So one of my recommendations, which I think I may have recommended before, was Katherine Arden has a series called The Bear and the Nightingale. The first book is The Bear and the Nightingale. And I actually this year finished up the third book in the series, which is the end of the series. But it's delightful. It's a Russian fairy tale with a badass heroine, and it's charming, and it's cozy and wintry, and and it's a great thing to read in the middle of winter and this time of year. I would highly recommend that series. And I just finished reading Ruth Reichel's Delicious, which is her first work of fiction. She is a food writer and a former editor of Gourmet Magazine, and her food writing is beautiful and really fun to read. Actually also read her book called My Kitchen Year, which is about the year she spent after Gourmet closed. And it's chock full of delightful recipes and just nice thoughts on life and food. And it's a very pleasant thing to read. And I really wish I actually had the paper book and not the audio version, because I can't do the recipes without the book. So, but anything by her is lovely. But Delicious was delightful, just a fun, light, great story that was just really absorbing. And if you like food or you have a foodie in your life, I would definitely recommend that. And then my third book recommendation is for those who like to embrace the apocalypse. And this one was called Hollow Kingdom by Kara Jane Buxton. And this one I listened to the audio version, and it was so awesome. And I guess it's part of a series. And this was the first one. And I really can't wait for the next one to come out, because the premise of the book is that the humans of the world have some sort of problem. Things start to go wrong, and it's up to the pets of the world to fix the problem. And it centers around this guy who has a pet crow and a pet dog. And the dog and the crow have to, start sorting things out. And it's hilarious and horrifying all at the same time, and very absorbing, and I would highly recommend it.
Hollow World, it was called?
What was that?
Hollow World?
Hollow Kingdom.
Hollow Kingdom.
Yes.
I may or may not be buying a copy right now. Someone I know might really enjoy that.
It's very much a Mark book, because I believe the dog is a bloodhound. The dog and the crow have some issues with each other, so that's always entertaining.
And now I'm ordering it.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely need it. And then my show recommendation would be, I've been riding the exercise bike, trying to keep moving here. And while I've been riding the exercise bike, I have been watching Somebody Feed Phil, which is lovely. And I don't know, it's been around for a little while, but there are several seasons. And if you like to travel, and if you like to eat good food, and you just like to see people being delightful people, it's a wonderfully charming show. And
he's so likable.
He's so positive.
Very likable, very positive. And it's nice to know the world is still out there. So those would be my recommendations.
All very good ones. Well, I have brought you all together here, so it's appropriate for me to send you all off into the world again. It breaks my heart to have to say goodbye to you all, but it's that time. Happy holidays. I hope everyone manages to find some joy and fun, and if anything else, I think we can remind people that give yourself permission to play, and you can still have fun. Even as terrible as the world might be around us, there's a way for us to all still have fun and be together and enjoy life. Maybe different, but it's still the same. This is almost the same as it would be in any other year. The circumstances surrounding this whole year have been bad, but I feel like there's still lots of lessons that we can learn about being playful together, and remind if the Spiel does nothing else, it's to remind you that. And this time of year, it's a good thing to be reminded of. And I love y'all, and let's say goodbye to everybody and say happy holidays.
Can I first point out the collection of gnomes behind your head that I just noticed that Francie?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I love
He is
that.
amazing.
Yes.
It's no malicious.
And I will say those patterns are all by a woman named Sarah Shira, who goes by the handle of Imagined Landscapes on Ravelry. And she has a delightful assortment of gnome patterns. And once you start making one gnome, you can't stop. They're like potato chips. You just got to keep making them.
I believe you're contractually obligated to say they're like Pringles.
Yes, I think at this point, yes.
I'd like everyone to meet Gary. He's my chief of staff.
Hello, Gary.
Yes. Gary will be getting a friend soon. It just hasn't made it in the box. Nikki's there at the end.
Debbie's picture and a friend for Gary? Oh, that's cover.
So whether is it the turn of a
we're not going to even try.
That was the best part of the first holiday party. They'd been drinking for like 3 hours, and they were trying to remember what we chose.
It was bad. It was bad.
You just have to play.
It's hard enough for just me and Steven to do that and have it right.
Well, thank you all. Let's cheer ourselves out here and say happy holidays to everybody.
Happy
holidays, everyone.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Bye.
I love
Happy
you all.
Joy.